range turns bloody in Berkeley. Our KPIX5 crews were right in the middle of the chaos as both Trump supporters and anti-Trump activists come to blows.
Protesters followed Trump supporters to their cars as they left the convention center. Around the corner and away from police protection on San Carlos Street, a mob mentality took over.
You voted Trump! You voted Trump! Yeah!
What do you say to the people who dragged a poor white guy out of a car and beat him?
Oh my goodness, poor white people, please, oh my, stop.
These were pure attacks. Trump supporters, men, women, even the elderly, left this building last night and walked right into danger.
This Trump supporter was the first casualty of the day, with blood streaming out of his face.
Pro-Trump and anti-Trump protesters got into it.
Throwing things at the guy who has a Trump shirt on. Oh, he just got knocked in the back of the head. He just got punched in the face. And now they're rushing him.
We're saying if you're out there and you're trying to represent your First Amendment right to free speech, if somebody comes and attacks you, it's your right to defend yourself.
It got ugly. Violence erupting at the event as fights broke out, fists flying between Trump supporters and anti-Trump supporters. It gets pretty ugly.
Yeah, I want to warn the folks watching at home, you're about to see some very violent footage.
Do you want to fight? You better believe you got one!
Organizers say today's rallies were meant as a show of unity against what they call a seditious fringe, allegedly trying to sabotage the president.
You can see there a FedEx delivery driver jumping in to try to put an end to the protest.
You don't like, get the
It's the strength in numbers. I'll give it to 8 libs. You want to come out, you better be 100 of you against 1 of me, because that's what it's going to take.
This is the heart of 1776.
Fuck you white people, fuck you, you think you're better than us?
Welcome to the InfoWars Live 3 to 5. I am Millie Weaver, joined by the lovely Leanne Mcadoo in studio. And we are going to be providing coverage today of the Berkeley rallies, where it's said that violent protests could erupt as the Antifa and Trump supporters that are defenders of the First Amendment may very well face off over the cancellation of Ann Coulter's speaking event. So what do you think about this, Leanne? Do you think that violence is going to ensue?
You know, it'll be pretty interesting to see kind of what happens here today. Ann Coulter said the speech is canceled, but she might still show up. Who knows? So is she just kind of keeping the suspense alive? But definitely there are people there, like we talked about yesterday, there's no way that those people were ready for battle and that they're not going to show up. And so we know that we've got a lot of Trump supporters on the ground there. We'll be speaking hopefully with Brittany Pettibone coming up. Lauren Southern will be there, Gavin McInnes. So we've got people on the ground, which means you know Antifa is going to be there as well.
That's right, guys. So make sure you stay tuned, because we are, like Leanne said, going to be joined via video by Brittany Pettibone, who's going to be giving us an insight into some live coverage from the event that is being held by Gavin McInnes and some other well-known people like Laura Southern. And, you know, they're just going out there because they do not want to have the Antifa win by shutting down free speech, because what does that represent if they think that they can use violence to scare people into silence?
And it's already working. Now, we saw how the Portland Rose Parade was canceled after these anti-fascists threatened the GOP marchers. So all they did was send a threatening email, and they said, we are going to show up and we're going to rip these GOP representatives out of the parade. If you have them, we're going to shut this down. And so they were asking the Republican representatives there, you know, maybe you might not want to show up. And they were saying, what? We're not. This is like a tradition. It's a 67th time this parade has been 67 years this has been going on. And then these little Antifa fascists. And the thing that's really frightening is that they were able to shut this whole parade down because they threatened the GOP party that was going to be part of the part of the parade. And now they're actually in their Facebook and their kind of little forums that they have. They're talking about how, you know, if anyone thinks violence isn't an answer to get your message through, well, we just prove them wrong. So now they're only going to become more militant, more threats to shut that down because they're seeing that they are able. We played the video yesterday with Yvette Fakala or whatever her name was with By Any Means Necessary, where she was basically bragging, saying, look at what we did, and we did it extremely well.
Wow. Well, you know, if they feel like they're going to go ahead and shut down a rose parade, which isn't necessarily something that's political, what's next? What do we...
Yeah, it's for business.
Exactly. What do we have in store for once these anti-fascists decide that they're going to start shutting down holidays? Right. You know, when I took to the street in disguise as Rainbow Snatch, I went and interviewed a lot of these SJWs out there who wanted to ban various holidays because they had viewed them as racist by some means. And a lot of it was just misinformation. I mean, I was able to have them...
Wanted to shut down St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, that's right. They wanted to shut down St. Patrick's Day because, oh, if it's racist, if somebody says it's racist, ban it. So would we see people being...
They don't need any further evidence or justification or proof of what you're saying. They're just like, where can I sign? Because I'm not a racist, so I want to be sure and sign that right away.
Exactly.
And that's why it's one of those key buzzwords that they can use to trigger and maneuver and do whatever. It's weaponized. They can do anything they want. They just have to call you racist, fascist, sexist, homophobic, whatever.
That's right. And so are we going to see these anti-fascists going around and beating people for celebrating the 4th of July? Because they believe that the American flag is racist and that it's fascist and that it oppresses minorities and so on and so forth. So are we going to see them become emboldened by the fact that they've actually successfully canceled Ann Coulter's speaking event? Well, what's interesting is we talked a little bit yesterday about Yvette Yvette Falarka, and actually how she sued Berkeley, the Berkeley School District, for a First Amendment violation, allegedly, which is interesting here because she's trying to claim that her First Amendment was violated because of the fact that they put her on a paid leave because of her affiliations with the political group By Any Means Necessary. Now, the problem with this is that By Any Means Necessary, well, it means exactly what it says it means. It means that they're willing to go out and attack people and maybe even kill people. I mean, any means. We can't discount any means.
They're selling pocket knives. So, you know, that if you stab someone and you hit an artery, someone's going to die. Like and the thing that's so frightening about this, you asked, you know, where will this end or will they allow this to happen? Of course, we've seen how some of the cops have stood down at some of these riots. Why? Maybe the Berkeley mayor has some ties to this Antifa group, By Any Means Necessary. But also they are in alignment with certain members of the establishment who want to tear down the very fabric of American society and what this nation was founded on. They want to tear away with that. They want to say that all of our holidays are racist, all of our traditions are racist, they're built on white supremacy, so we need to tear them down and do away with them. They want to put that message out there so that they can rebuild this nation in their own design, which of course would be very progressive, leftist, socialist, eventually communist. And that's what they want. So they're going to allow these little Antifa rioters, these little tight pants bullies, to go do their dirty work for them.
Now, that's exactly right. And it's only going to continue getting worse. And we actually did see, I know I saw on Twitter some message boards that people were sharing an image from that were basically anti-fascists talking about getting their hands on guns to go to these rallies to use a gun to intimidate and shut down free speech. Well, that is terrorism in my book, and it fits the definition of terrorism. So let's just call it what it is. These are anti-fascist terrorists out there that they're so brainwashed and deluded that they actually believe that America, what it represents, the flag, our Constitution, our rights, that all of that is fascist and that all of that is racist and needs to be done away with. So anyone can be called a fascist Nazi now in their book. Anyone that pledges the allegiance to the flag. If you just believe in basic American principles, then you're a fascist.
Right. And perfect example of what we're up against here. So this is in the New York Times opinion pages. The headline is, Berkeley is under attack from both sides. Berkeley is not under attack from both sides. I have yet to see any of these. Okay, maybe Base Stick Man went out there with a stick, but he wasn't going out there looking to start a battle with people. It was self-defense at that point where, like, look, if you're going to pepper spray me in the face or you're going to hit me with a shovel, you're going to fight. Well, you know what? Now I'm within my rights to defend myself, to protect myself. But the New York Times is putting it out there that the right side is, fighting against free speech. And, that's what those people are out there for, is fighting to ensure that the First Amendment is honored on campus, which is what Berkeley students fought for, the birth of the free speech movement. That's why this is so insane. We've literally entered Wally World.
That's right. And so now they're using it as a birthplace of censorship. And isn't that really alarming, Leanne? And I just can't believe how, it's so obvious that they are the aggressors here. They're the ones that are going to Trump supporters or conservative events and shutting them down, making terrorist threats so bad that the university had to pull the plug on Ann Coulter's speaking event. Now, they could say, it was based on safety concerns, but at the end of the day, there might have been a little bit of bias that went along with that into them using that as an excuse to shut it down. Because I do believe that if it were, in fact, a Christian conservative university, that they would have done whatever, you would have had all of these liberals and the mainstream media would have been like, hey, conservative university students are out there shutting down a liberal commentator's speaking event if it were on, if the shoe were on the other foot.
And so are we watching a live stream right now? Berkeley Antifa Proud Boy Clash live stream. So this is Berkeley on the scene right now, guys. I'm going to say.
Yeah, it appears to be. It says Berkeley Antifa Proud Boy Clash live stream. So
we've got 3 streams right now we're going to be monitoring. This is Rob Dew popping in live. We've got 3 different streams, a We Are Change stream, Tim Pool, and then this one from Honeypot Studios. We'll be looking for others to see what's going on. But yeah, these are boots on the ground at this time.
Right. So we can see just because the speech was canceled, that doesn't mean people who wanted to go and watch Ann Coulter speak, who wanted to hear, who bought their tickets, they're still showing up saying, no, we're not going to stand down. We're not going to let you little fascists terrorize us and scare us and cancel all of our speakers. There's Luke Gradowski.
Yes.
So we have also, there's now a change.org petition going around to get Linda Sarsour canceled. She's giving the CUNY commencement speech. So here we have this Sharia law advocate who's making, saying women who are victims of female genital mutilation, she's harassing them, saying, you're not a real woman. I'd take your whole vagina away if I could. And so this is a woman who's now being held as like this new feminist icon. And so she's allowed to go speak. She's given the freaking commencement speech. Who is this? Where did she come from? So she's being held up as this new women's activist or whatever. And she is an advocate, outspoken for Sharia law. Taxpayer-funded university. Gotta love that. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone shows up to shut her speech down, or will she be allowed to give this commencement speech? Very interesting kind of.
Yeah, definitely. It's very interesting. And, there was just an article up today on InfoWars about how the Austrian president was talking about how all women should wear a a burqa, should wear a head covering in order to stand in solidarity with wear headscarves in order to stand in solidarity with Muslim women.
For those who have to do it for religious reasons. I know we weren't able to grab that clip because we wanted to keep the closed captioning in it. Are we able to play that live from the article? Okay, so we'll play that video of him in a moment. But yeah, he's saying that eventually this rampant Islamophobia might continue. It might get to the point where it's so bad that all women should wear headscarves in solidarity with women who choose to do so for religious reasons. Like, that's where we're going to. In order to prove that you're not Islamophobic, we all should just wear these headscarves in solidarity.
Right, and if you aren't willing to wear a headscarf, are you then considered Islamophobic and a racist and a bigot, and therefore should it be justified that you're beaten out in the streets by anti-fascists?
Right. Yeah. If you're not wearing your head covering, well, then you're asking to get raped or sexually assaulted because that's what happens. Or like the girl in Saudi Arabia where people were calling for her to be executed because she dared go out shopping in the shopping district without her head covering on. And this is the thing, is that a lot of women in these Muslim countries choose to wear the head covering. But the majority of women wish they didn't have to wear the darn things. They're forced to wear them, or they could be executed or thrown in jail. You know, they could honor killings. So that's what people don't understand. And so when you have the Austrian president coming out saying, well, let's wear them in solidarity, it's just like those freaking dumbasses with the pussy hats on that were putting on the hijabs in solidarity with Linda Sarsour and her buddies. Like, this is madness.
Yeah, it's so hypocritical. It's unbelievable. They preach that they're for women's rights, that they're for, you know, women not being oppressed, when they're going around supporting one of the most oppressive institutions out there that goes around and forces women to wear scarves over their head. Their husbands can beat them. I mean, it's allowed under their law. They have to have 3 male witnesses to their rape. Otherwise, they can be killed and executed for adultery. It's disgusting, Leanne.
We've got 2 Detroit doctors and a woman charged over genital mutilation of 2 7-year-old girls, but they claim that they committed no crime because it's an Islamic religious practice.
Wow.
And so they're saying that's their defense that they're going to take, that they can get away with mutilating these little girls. And the New York Times and other outlets aren't even calling it female genital mutilation anymore. They think it's too triggering. They're going to call it female cutting. And so that's the excuse they're going to make here. The defense that they're going to take is that it's part of their religion. It's their religious practice. And, you know, it might be outlawed in the United States and many other countries, but, you know, you brought us here. We don't want to assimilate to your culture. You need to assimilate to ours. This is absolutely insane. I know that we were seeing some reports, I believe classrooms in Sweden, maybe even Germany, where they were saying like 90% of the girls in these classrooms had undergone this female genital mutilation. So this is not just some rare thing that is going on with this.
So they'll support her body, her choice, but they won't support her body, her choice when it comes to female genital mutilation, the baby's choice to not have their genitals completely mutilated. Well, it looks like on the screen here, we can actually see some of the events that are happening right now in Berkeley. We've already seen Lauren Southern. There's Lauren Southern. She's there. She's got her MAGA helmet on. It looks like she's ready to go to battle with these stick-wielding Antifa who like to bash people over the heads with sticks. So she's prepared right there.
Well, see, and I got to hand it to her and the others out there. They've definitely got a bounty on their head from these Antifa. I know Owen is actually speaking with Jack Posobiec today. He'll be featured on the nightly news as well. But he's got a bounty on his head from the Antifa in D.C. So, you know, that's pretty brave of these people to go out there and put themselves on the front lines to fight for freedom of speech, because this is a huge deal. This is not just like, you know, little millennial crybabies that are like, oh, I want my free speech. This is like the very foundation of our country. This is why people risk their lives to come here, to our country.
Yeah, let's go ahead and cut to some of the audio of this feed just so we can hear what's going on.
So this is Tim Pool's feed. We had him actually go out and investigate some of those.
no fascism, and some guy covered his face and started just yelling that I was a snitch. But like, I don't know who this guy is. Clearly he doesn't know who I am. This is, look, I gotta say this. Let's they're all chanting. Let's go back.
So we got Trump supporters, chanting USA, or just supporters of liberty. Doesn't have to be a Trump supporter.
Right. Yeah, because that's the thing, is they don't understand the people in power are the ones kind of making the rules, right? And right now they think for whatever reason that it's not going to come back to hurt them if you take away free speech rights. Okay.
Pretty interesting there, though. I mean, it does appear to be that there is going to be opposition. It sounded like we have confirmation that there are Antifa there, given that a guy was talking about how one of them was shouting at him.
Called him a snitch and a fascist.
Yeah.
Like, you're a snitch because we want to be able to beat you with our bike locks in peace and not have to face any repercussions. We want to be able to stab you and beat you with shovels, and
I find it
tell the man.
Yeah, I find it kind of interesting because you see these two different groups, and it seems as though they've started wearing certain attire to where you can identify who's with what side based on their attire. And notice that all the conservative, Trump-supporting, liberty-loving Americans out there are wearing helmets, because it just goes to show.
With a bike lock or canisters of.
It shows who the violent ones are. The Antifa just usually wear masks to cover their face because they don't want to get identified as the person that just wallops somebody over the head with a stick or a bike lock.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and I think too, people should be careful. You're definitely going to have agent provocateurs on both sides. So they, once they know what your preferred uniform is, it'd be very easy to stage, pretend that you're on the other side and cause some mayhem and some melee to be able to blame it on the other side. But then again, if you've got the mainstream media on your side, they'll just blame it on the other side anyway, and they won't report. They'll call you activists, not violent rioters. That's what they say, is violent Trump supporters and then these left-wing activists. I mean, you can see the way it's framed. It's really upsetting.
Yeah, it is very upsetting, and it's really interesting actually to go and read some of the Antifa's propaganda and their little blogs and articles that they write, because the way they spin everything is just so unbelievably diluted. They try to paint all Trump supporters and people like Alex Jones and Gavin McInnes as white supremacists, when it's like, give me a break. Are you kidding me? Have you not seen that there actually is probably more diversity in the people out there who are holding their Trump and American flags out there than there probably are on the other side, who all seem to be a bunch of college-age kids, and probably their professors too. I mean, we might have some information that one of those Antifa, the bike lock attacker, could be a professor. I mean, some people are claiming that they've identified the person and that it might actually be this professor.
Well, we know for sure Yvette Falarca is a middle school teacher. So she's getting those kids young, nice and young. And these are the kids that are the most susceptible to this type of programming, because they're still trying to kind of figure out where they feel in life. And so if they've got this cool teacher who's going out and being a part of these protests against the racist fascists, well, she's going to be seen as a hero, even if she has completely delusional ideas about who her enemy is. And like you said, everyone is lumped into that category of the enemy. It does not matter. And also in another interview, she says how that is their targeted goal, is to make as much of a scene as possible, even drawing blood and whatever, because it just brings more people to their group, because people want to go check them out. And then so they're going to have more people going, oh, well, who is this by any means necessary? Well, wow, they're willing to get out there and, fight the system. I want to be a part of that. And then it's like these people who, like you pointed out the other day, they've never even looked up the definition of fascism.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre when you actually question them on, well, what is fascism? What exactly do you guys want? What's your solution that you're fighting for? They give pretty vague answers. They don't really seem to know very well. But the common theme seems to be that they want chaos. They want anarchy. They don't want a government, so to speak. But at the same time, they run around touting communism, which that would be a government. So there's a lot of conflicts in what they're saying and things like that. So another thing that's pretty interesting is apparently Rob Schneider, who we all know from Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, and The Hot Chick, he took to Twitter, and apparently he is super mad about Berkeley. He is not happy about it at all. And what we all know that Rob Schneider actually was a Democrat, and he actually more recently exited the Democratic Party and switched over to the Republican Party because he was so unhappy with how things were going. He denounced the Democratic Party, and he warned of a mob mentality that would lead to American fascism if left unchecked. So it's pretty interesting here how, you have Rob Schneider coming out. He said on Twitter, he said, "You see Berkeley, after you're done eliminating speech you don't like and words you don't like, what's next? Maybe add burning books to the curriculum." Exactly. So are we going to see book burnings? Is that what's around the corner? Let's go ahead and see what's going on here on the audio for this feed. Looks pretty interesting. Something seems to be going on.
So I think that their speakers are slated to begin in about a half hour.
Nice to meet you. Never.
So, seems pretty peaceful at the moment, which is good. People just having a little dialogue, a little communication, that is key. So,
well, so far so good. I hope that it
up and they rather than just saying, "Oh, well, they canceled another speech, I guess we need to go home now." They're saying, "No, we paid for this. We bought tickets for this. We wanted to come hear Ann Coulter speak. Just because you don't like her doesn't mean she doesn't have a right to speak her mind." That's the thing that's insane is, do you truly not think that that could be turned against you at some point? And you were kind of pointing out how these young kids are being used and then they have no idea what they're talking about, but they're pushing communism. It's just like what happened with the Red Guards. So Mao Zedong has these Red Guards doing all his dirty work and basically promising them that they're going to be the ones in control if they go out and do the dirty work. But then turns out, no, once he was in power, he didn't need them anymore. And that's what these people think. They're going to overthrow the system and then they're going to be in control. I don't want to live in a country where these people who can't even take a regular shower, I don't want them running the country.
Yeah, that would be pretty disturbing, Leanne. I mean, I don't even want to see what that would look like. We know that they would be policing language like crazy. You would not have free speech since they say free speech for us, no free speech for fascists.
Yeah, that's hate speech. We don't believe there's more than two genders.
Yeah, we smash fascists with an iron fist. That's their little slogan right there. So it would be pretty disturbing, but we really should take a look at, what is coming, where is this coming from? And why is it coming out of these universities, Leanne? That's really the interesting thing here is it seems like there is obviously ideological discrimination that's going on when it comes to hiring staff and professors at these universities because the studies are out there. The statistics are out there.
Well, then you have all these people who are programmed with this type of information at the college level, and then they go on to be instructors and teachers, and they make it to where that they can't be fired, they can't be let go if they're pushing the wrong ideology, or they have to, like you pointed out with someone that you interviewed, you have to be in line with that ideology anyway to even get hired. And so it's just perpetuating this cycle where this is the type of information. The schools have been infiltrated, period.
And look at what is going on here. We are actually seeing that these conservative students are having to bring in conservative speakers to give lectures because there is a void of conservative professors there that needs filled. And the students are hungry and thirsting for a different perspective on history, on politics, on culture and society. So they're actually wanting conservative voices to offer a different point of view to come in and speak. And the anti-fascists are like, no way. And are they being encouraged by some of these Marxist professors that don't want other voices and other opinions in the school system?
Well, if you want to continue getting our voice, we need to continue getting this out there. And like we have said multiple times, totally under attack from all sides. You think they're shutting down free speech in schools. They're also trying to shut it down on the internet, on Alex Jones' radio broadcast by targeting his advertisers as well. We need your help now more than ever. And we are running some super specials to help you help us. We've got Caveman True Paleo right now. That is 53% off, which I think is crazy. The Caveman True Paleo. We've got the Secret 12. We've
30% off of Liver Shield.
Right.
So we've got that too. And as well, we have tons of merchandise.
Shield X2, Brain Force. Yep.
We have wonderful shirts out there.
Got to get your shirts so that you can be targeted at these protests, but seriously, loud and proud, because I guarantee you if any of these Antifa people see you with one of our T-shirts, you are going to be someone that they directly target. So I don't know if that's your thing, if you are raring to go. Go ahead,
no, seriously though, wear the shirts, wear them loud and proud. Don't let bullies dictate whether or not you want to wear a shirt that you want to wear.
Exactly.
Don't let them make you afraid and say, oh, I don't want to wear this because I don't want any trouble. I don't want to be bullied. Ooh. Essentially, that's what it is.
Absolutely. No. Yep. So go get some gear. Go get some InfoWars gear. Help support the broadcast. And we will be right back after the break. I think we're going to have Brittany Pettibone on the line.
Oh, yeah.
Electrify your day with Secret 12. It's like lightning in a bottle. We all have days in which we just can't seem to perform at the level we'd like to. InfoWars Live Secret 12 is designed to naturally energize your body and mind with 2 great tasting and super high quality forms of vitamin B12. Proper vitamin and nutrient intake is essential to keep your body functioning at optimum levels. The reality is, it's hard to take in the proper amount of vitamins we need each day with our modern diets. Secret 12 by InfoWars Live is an easy way to naturally upgrade your vitamin B12 intake and support your body's natural systems. It pairs 2 forms of vitamin B12 into one explosive formula. Vitamin B12 supports healthy energy levels through red blood cell formation and aiding in the body's natural processes, but it also assists with many other functions of the body. Electrify your mind and body and take your health to the next level. Experience the power of Secret 12 at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
A clean, toxic-free body is the foundation of true health. Introducing Deep Cleanse by InfoWarsLife.com, a scientifically formulated blend of nanocolloidal zeolites and organic ingredients that aid the body in cleansing chemicals and toxic metals. Using our proprietary multi-step extraction technology, Deep Cleanse is our most affordable all-in-one cleanser. With concentrated organic compounds like cilantro, milk thistle, fulvic acid, orange peel, zeolites, and others, Deep Cleanse doesn't hold back. Instead of buying 5, 6, or even 7 different cleansing products, we use decades-old scientific research to put together the Rolls-Royce of all-in-one cleansing. Look, there's a reason Deep Cleanse is the only product on the market that uses our proprietary Spigyrex herbal processing technique. We use only the highest quality organic herbs backed by serious research, and we still bring it to you at the best price out there. If you wish to find Deep Cleanse and experience the all-in-one cleansing, visit InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
InfoWars is proud to announce the official InfoWars Live app, available now for iPhone and Android. InfoWars Live allows you to watch a live, high-definition feed of The Alex Jones Show 24/7 and get the latest breaking InfoWars reports straight to your phone. Want to read the latest exclusives on Infowars.com? Or do you want to catch up on world news? Now you can do so with Infowars Live anywhere you go. You can browse the news, share content, and more. And best of all, it's free to download at Infowars.com. The app is brand new. This is the first release, and it was completely built from the ground up. We've seen example after example of cable news networks attempting to deceive you. In short, the mainstream media is being covertly manipulated by well-financed political forces who are trying to sway public opinion in a natural direction that only serves establishment agendas. But Infowars Live is the solution to the controlled press that is rapidly losing influence. So download Infowars Live today at Infowars.com and learn what's really going on instead of being spoon-fed lies by the mainstream media.
I am very proud to announce the introduction of the highest quality Infowars Biome Defense Probiotic. We wanted to come out with the largest spectrum of high quality known probiotics that have been proven to improve overall digestion and health and detoxification in the body. Biome Defense is an exclusive blend of 50 billion live and active cultures from over 23 different probiotic strains that are known to support digestion and intestinal function. Our researchers are confident that we have been able to develop what will be the leading probiotic on the market. Secure your Biome Defense in ultra strength or regular strength at InfoWarsLife.com today and get started supporting your digestive system naturally. We've been testing this formula for years, but this is the limited first run to the public, so please take advantage of it today. Support your own health and support the InfoWar.
Welcome back to the InfoWars Live 3 to 5. I'm here joined with Leanne Mcadoo, and we are actually going to be joined right now by Brittany Pettibone, the lovely lady defender of liberty out there at Berkeley. She is out there right now defending the First Amendment. How is it going out there, Brittany?
Things are looking good so far. They are. Oh, I'm here with Kyle Chapman right here. Want to say hi?
Hey. Oh, okay.
Good to see you. Base Stick Man.
The Base Stick Man.
Yeah, we have Stuart Rhodes, head of the Oath Keepers. They're here. The American Civil Defense, the 3%ers, the Proud Boys. We've got so many people out here. The police are actually doing a pretty good job of securing the area so far. It's been fairly peaceful, and I did hear from Kyle that Antifa are on their way at the moment, so I'm sure that things could escalate a bit down the line. I guess we'll have to see. The speeches are starting in 15, 20 minutes or so. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens, but it looks like a lot of people are starting to gear up. It's been pretty peaceful for the past 2 hours or so, though.
Now, Brittany, had you all planned to do this lineup with speeches before the Ann Coulter speech, or once she was canceled, you guys said, look, no one's going to shut us down?
Yeah, absolutely. We hadn't planned on any of this. It was kind of just like we were all going to attend to support her and to be there for her. But as soon as she pulled out, we decided that we needed to keep this event, it had to happen. Completely canceling was an imminence of defeat. It was a surrender. And so, we wanted to stand up for free speech. And there's so many people here, way more people here than even April 15th. I'm going to try and pan around a little bit. There's way more people here. It's been a great turnout. People have come from all over the United States, so this isn't just local attendees. It's really great.
Yeah, well, you see how they were kind of bragging about the fact that they were able to shut down the Portland Rose Parade after they Antifa sent threatening letters to. So they're going to go more militant that way. It's great to see people on our side saying, no, we're going to fight back.
Yeah. I did hear, though, that the Portland parade is still on. Apparently, it's still happening. That's what I heard last night, very late last night. So that might still be on. But we actually have, Kyle and I are going to another event at Mount Baldy on Saturday for a speaking event. And that has celebrating Trump's first 100 days in office. and that's being threatened by Antifa as well. So these people like follow you. It's like no matter where you go, they're going to show up, especially in a liberal-dominated area like California.
Wow. So are you concerned at all for your safety, Brittany? Because, you know, there are some prominent conservative speakers and bloggers and Twitter people out there that have been threatened by Antifa. So are you nervous at all?
I mean, a bit. I did bring a helmet, a respirator, goggles this time. I'm going to suit up here pretty soon. But, I mean, like I said, we have the most amazing security right now. You know, the Oath Keepers are all like veterans or former cops, you know, just wonderful, really experienced people. They know what they're doing. So I'm confident that I'm going to be okay. You know, as long as I don't throw myself into the middle of it, you know, I should be okay. I hope
Have you heard anything about whether or not?
Guys, don't worry.
Yeah.
She's a good She's a good ad.
Okay, well, have you heard anything about whether or not Ann Coulter might change her mind and show up?
Yeah, I did hear that apparently she was considering speaking at Sproul Plaza, which is very close to here. That was on Twitter. I was seeing people saying this. So I'm not sure like what the lowdown actually is because there's so many different conflicting reports that you're hearing. I did hear she
wait a
may,
minute.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
did
say
hear she may
Sproul
show up
Hall?
here. I saw that on Twitter. People talking about it like an hour and a half ago. I can't confirm that it's true.
Yeah.
I also heard she might show up here just to say hi. Okay, Antifa is 10 minutes out. That's what they're saying. So things are probably going to escalate here pretty soon.
Oh wow,
so,
that's kind of crazy. So you know,
we can keep her on the line maybe and let you get geared up, I guess.
Yeah, we should definitely keep you on the line. If you want to just kind of take us through and show us some of the people around here. Have you had a chance to talk to Lauren Southern at all yet?
Yes, I did see Lauren. I saw Lauren. She came with Luke from We Are Change. Baked Alaska's here, and Irma Himosa. They spoke last week as well. And then, of course, we have Kyle Chapman, who's like, you know, heading up a lot of the security with Stuart Rhodes. Yeah, we have a lot of great speakers. Oh, Gavin McInnes, he's on his way. He's going to be here very soon, so to speak. So that's going to be exciting. He came out last minute as well. He might even be reading. I heard that Anne sent him her speech, and he's going to read it off. So, wow. You know, her message still is going to be delivered.
Have you seen the Berkeley Police Department at all? Have they been there at all trying to provide security?
Yeah, this time today they're everywhere. It seems like they're making more of attempts this time. Not that they didn't want to last time, but it seems like they have more things under control. I was talking to someone as we drove in, and he said that they arrested several Antifa and people on our side right at the outset just for trying to bring in weapons or, you know, any kind of, you know, thing that looks suspicious. They would arrest them for it. So we've already had several arrests, but not really any violence that I've been able to see so far.
So the question is now is the Berkeley Police Department going to do their job and assist if violence ensues, or are they going to stand down like we've seen them do before, which is part of the reason why Berkeley has been known for such violent protests? I mean, we've seen Antifa come and try to shut down and stop other Trump rallies across America, but typically other police departments around other states have stepped in, they've done their job, they've made arrests, they've broken up the violence when it happened, but Berkeley, we've seen them stand down, so although they are there, we don't know if they're actually going to do their job and not just stand there on the sidelines.
You know, like I said before, many of them do actually want to do something and to help and to prevent this, you know, senseless violence that's going on around them, but they are actually ordered to stand down. I don't know if it comes from like the mayor of Berkeley or the chief of police, but they've, like last time, there were a bunch of buses just lined up on the side of the street, filled to the brim with policemen who weren't doing anything as violence was erupting all around them, but they were ordered to stand down. So, you know, I can't say that it's just them saying, oh, we don't care what happens. I do think that some of them really do want to help. And it seems like this time they've been, you know, allowed to actually take part in trying to keep this event secure. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
At least so far, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be an absolute PR nightmare, though, kind of either way, because, of course, this is why Berkeley became so famous, and why if Ann Coulter does end up speaking at Sproul Hall or Sproul Plaza, which is where that famous speech was given by Mario Savio, where their students in the 60s actually fought and like battled with the police to get free speech and the First Amendment honored on campus. So that would be kind of a really great juxtapose of Ann Coulter standing at Sproul Hall saying, this is the famous place where the birthplace of free speech on campus came. So it'll just be very interesting to see what happens either way, because they don't want kind of another reenactment of that where the media is then going to say, look at the police attacking these students. So,
well, you know,
yeah, their hands are tied.
I do really still want to see Ann Coulter show up. I mean, I'm kind of rooting for her to make a comeback and go, you know what? I'm going to go there. I'm going to brave it. And we do have a lot of support out there, it seems. And did you talk to the based stickman at all about what their security protocols and plans were?
Yeah, well, I actually came up last night, and a bunch of people stayed in a big house, and everyone was kind of strategizing about what to do today, how to secure the perimeter. So none of them have brought in, weapons. I do think some of the Oath Keepers are armed, as they're allowed to be. They're former cops and such. So we do have, and then we have the police as well. But basically, they've secured this entire perimeter. Like, Antifa aren't going to be able to just spill right in without a fight. And I know last time what they do is they try and charge the walls to get through where the speakers are. Fortunately, the Oath Keepers kept them back last time, and I have no doubt they're going to try that again. They also, what they do is they put in infiltrators. People, Antifa will come in and kind of, give the lowdown on what's going on and try and give out the plan. So it'll be easier for them to come in and, commit their violence and do what they do. So we'll see. But yeah, it looks really good. Like, you have some really efficient people here taking care of security. We have a great PA system this time. They're going to be live streaming all the speeches. So yeah, we're a lot better set this time, I think.
Brittany, what do you want to just say to all of these Antifa kids, and even just, young people that might be on campus wondering what the hell is going on and what side should I join here? What do you want to tell them maybe about the misperception they have about this fascism, or what they perceive as fascism, but they're using fascist tactics to shut it down?
The thing is, these people call us fascists, Nazis, all these kinds of things, but they in no way have ever given an example or explained how we are these things. They just call us it and then immediately rush to violence. It's a very dangerous thing when the right and the left, when communication is fully cut off between them, because that's what leads to violence. So if we can have some kind of channel of communication where we can openly debate our differences, that is free speech. That's what we're fighting for. So in us being here, we are even fighting for Antifa's right to free speech, not just our own. It's Americans as a whole and in general. And so but surrendering that is just going to, it would completely change our country, because it gives the left the opportunity to redefine it in their image, because nothing they say is regarded as hate speech, only what we say is regarded as hate speech. Free speech is very important, and even if the narrative right now is, in your favor and substantiates your beliefs, what happens when that narrative changes? It will. The world constantly changes. So if you want to fight to shut down free speech now, and then the narrative changes down the road, you've kind of just shot yourself in the foot. So absolutely, this is for all Americans in general, not just the right. But free speech, it's very important, First Amendment, and we are gonna, in the face of all of these violence and threats and everything, we're gonna continue to be out here as long as it is necessary for us to be here.
Well, and so now you had your message to the students. What do you want to say to people like the New York Times? The headline today is, Berkeley is under attack from both sides. So they're spinning it that Berkeley is now under attack by these free speech advocates that are out there. What do you think about the way that they are sort of framing what's going on there in Berkeley?
It's absolute nonsense. They, at the last event, they were kind of making us seem like we were the agitators, and even the BBC, these different mainstream medias were reporting that we crashed a tax rally. This was a free speech rally, an event that we set up. If these people don't come out here, there'll be no attention on it. you know, it'll just go on completely under the radar. But the fact that Antifa is coming out here and violently challenging us, it is very necessary for us to be on the defense. That's why we have helmets, respirators, etc. Because we're not just going to stand here and let ourselves get mowed down by these people without putting up any kind of defensive fight. So
It's
we are
also-
not,
It's also those who don't want to cower to bullies. I mean, there are people out there in general who just are adamant about standing up to bullying and bullies, because that's what these are. These are like free speech, anti-free speech bullies that are on this campus, and they are probably out there bullying their peers into silence.
Direct crusaders.
Yeah, I mean, how many students out there that are conservative are bullied into silence on the campus of Berkeley by these anti-fascists that rule the roost?
Yeah, and the mainstream media never define them as what they are. They just say the right and the left clash at Berkeley. These are neo-Marxists, these are communist radicals who are determined to shut us down, even if it means violently assaulting us, and who knows, it could even escalate one day to someone getting killed. I don't know, but they need to honestly represent what is happening here.
They're labeled an extremist group.
Yeah. We've not come here to fight other people, you know, and to be violent. We are here to defend if necessary, but if we are not challenged, you know, by these Antifa who are trying to take away our right to free speech, we're going to be perfectly fine, and it's going to be completely peaceful.
And that's the problem, is that these fake news channels out there and media outlets are putting out these articles and news reports trying to make it seem as though you have these right-wing extremist groups out there like neo-Nazis, white supremacists. That's how they're painting conservatives. You're just your average Republican conservatives that have voted for Republicans for time and time. I mean, so they're painting Trump supporters, supporters of the president, supporters of our flag, our Constitution, our rights. Somehow they're painting them as white supremacists so that they can have this duality between the extreme left and the extreme right, when in reality you have moderate conservatives out there representing liberty and American values. You have people of all different ethnic minorities. You have even members from the gay community out there. I mean, it is very diverse. The Trump supporters, the supporters of liberty in America, it's diverse. They're trying to paint it as this extremists versus extremists when that's not it.
That's a good point that you put, because if we don't have our basic fundamental human rights that are enshrined in our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, who cares about gay rights or trans rights? I mean, none of that matters if our basic fundamental rights are somehow stripped away from us, or we're able to vote those away or something if the fascists get their way. And that's what people don't understand. So that's why you're right. You do have members of the LGBT community out there saying, look, this is fundamental. This is key. Who cares about all of these other little side projects we've got going on? No one's going to give a crap about 75 genders if we don't have our basic human rights. So, Brittany, do you mind kind of walking around and showing us kind of what's going on?
Yeah. Let me just grab my backpack here. Okay, so over here by the tree, this is like where all the speakers and a lot of the security are gathering. Right here, they have a lot of, you know, American flags and patriotism out here. It's great. You have a police presence on kind of the outskirts here. Yeah, this is kind of the end. This is behind the stage. So we're going to be speaking right over here. See that they're setting up a mic. They have a PA system. I don't know if you can see. And then out here, let me show you the crowd that's kind of forming.
And we are live linked on the Drudge Report right now, which I think is so awesome. We're live linked right there at the top left. They are watching the live stream right now because Matt Drudge knows how important this is, and he is a huge advocate for freedom of speech, protecting the First Amendment. He knows how important this is, and that's why right now everyone is watching this live stream going out via the Drudge Report. Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's getting pretty packed. There are a lot of people. We're not packed in too closely right now, so it extends pretty far all around. Yeah, this is like triple the amount of people that I saw last time. So it's really great to see so many people make an effort to come out here. Like it's really heartening.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And it's not just about they're out there to see a celebrity, because Ann Coulter is not. She might not show up. They are there for the First Amendment. It's just like you have the Democrats. They got to roll out Katy Perry and all those people to get or hijack a Jay-Z concert to get people to show up. Whereas if you have conservatives, Republicans, they are willing to show up to fight for the First Amendment. That is what a opposites.
Yeah, you would think that you would have Democrats out there as well standing up for the First Amendment, but because, I mean, it just reminds me of how in the Senate right now and in Congress, how you have Democratic senators and Congress people out there vehemently opposing every single thing Trump's trying to do. It doesn't matter what he's trying to do. They're just going to oppose it because it's a really immature way of doing things, but they're just going to oppose it because they don't like.
They don't want to backtrack all the progressive policies that will rush through.
So it's interesting. Brittany, is there a way that you could make your way over to where the speakers are, so we could actually try to talk to some of them?
Is she going to be speaking? Because I don't want to keep her.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find, because they're so scattered, but like this right here is where it's going to be happening. I'm trying to see if, because I think Baked Alaska is speaking first, and so he should be around here somewhere. Do you know where any speakers are, Kyle? This is one speaker. Kyle is speaking, but he's speaking right second to the last. Do you want to say a few words, Kyle?
Yeah, sure. So we've assembled here today at the FUCK Antifa rally to show these neo-Marxists in Berkeley that they can no longer oppress people of right-wing ideology, that the right wing will no longer be oppressed, attacked, and systematically kept from exercising our free speech rights. So we have a powerful assembly of warriors and patriots out here today. And so far, everything's been going good. We heard Antifa might be making a showing soon. So we're keeping our eye out for that. We just about have our mic system set up. Big day today. We have Gavin McInnes speaking, Lauren Southern, the beautiful Brittany Pettibone, Irma, Himosha, a lot of other good people, guys. So y'all stay tuned. And InfoWars, thank you for all the good work you've done. You guys are amazing. You guys have red-pilled the world. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
And Brittany, tell everyone where they can follow you, where they can find you while you're walking around.
You can follow me on Twitter at Britt Pettibone. And you can, my YouTube channel is Brittany Pettibone, just the name. And then, yeah, I'm also on Facebook, Brittany Pettibone as well. So those are basically my main spots that I hang out these days.
Very cool. Well, do you know what time you're scheduled to speak, Brittany?
Yeah, we're supposed to begin at 2 p.m. And it'll be Baked Alaska, then Irma, and then I think they're going to do Lauren Southern. Oh, Faith Goldie from Rebel Media is also speaking. And then it'll be me, then Kyle Chapman, and then Gavin McInnes. And that is our lineup as far as I know. Wonderful. So, yeah, we'll go in that order, and we'll each speak for about 5 to 10 minutes.
Very cool. Well, I mean, I hope that the Antifa doesn't show up, actually, because it's a great opportunity for liberty lovers to go out there and communicate with each other and show support with each other. But, you know, the sad reality is that I really do feel like the Antifa, they're going to come and rain on the parade. Yeah, we haven't seen the last of them.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Because, you know, if they don't show up, it's kind of, it's another victory for us. And I don't know how well they want to let that sit. They probably wouldn't. So, but you know, it would be wonderful.
You know, Brittany, just make sure you encourage the people there and the guys there to let them be the aggressors. Don't go out, try to assault them or anything like that, which I doubt that would happen, but let them be the aggressors and defend yourself. It's your right to defend yourself. If somebody's going to attack you, touch you, assault you, it's your right to defend yourself.
Yeah, we have the media trying to paint it as if Berkeley is under attack from both sides, but that's what they say. Even as you're watching the B-roll, with these violent protesters beating up innocent Trump supporters, the mainstream media is still saying these political activists were just showing up peacefully to express their displeasure with Trump's presidency. And so as long as we've got that footage that completely debunks the words coming out of their mouth, hopefully eventually people will be able to see the truth, that it's just there is one side, and who knows, it might be Democrats there as well. We don't know people's political affiliation, but they can see that there is a group of people who is standing up for the First Amendment rights of everyone in this country. And then there's another group of militant, Marxist, skinny jeans kids that are trying to use terror and bullying to silence people that they disagree with, voices they don't want to hear.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing, you know, to see the bullying, you know, that's going on here, and how, you know, if we don't have free speech, how are these Antifa going to go out and chant how much they hate Trump? So the irony is that they're calling for no free speech, which, like, hello, do you not realize that Trump is the president? Do you not realize that the House majority is Republican? The majorities are all Republican. So if you are actually really calling for the government to come down and say, hey, we're not going to have free speech anymore, you know, it's not going to be good for them. And that's why we don't want any encroachment on the First Amendment, because the power always swings. The pendulum swings. You never know who's going to be in power. I mean, we could have somebody like Hillary Clinton, for goodness sakes. And thank goodness that we don't have Hillary Clinton, because it would just...
listen to that screeching.
Yeah, we...
It would all be social justice issues for the next week.
Exactly, and we'd have to hear about more Bill Clinton sexual assault scandals, which we don't want to hear about. But yeah, so, well, thank you so much, Brittany.
I think maybe maybe we can keep you on the line or watch the stream or something. I don't want to keep you kind of standing there immobile. So we'd love to keep you on the line, though, as we're live linked on Drudge. So if you want to point the cameras
absolutely.
Do you want to go up and talk to some people? Let's go ask some people some questions.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's ask them why they came out.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay, let me see if I can find Stuart. Let me see. Let's go this way.
How's your phone battery doing?
I think my battery's good. I got a new phone, so I know you couldn't reach me last time, but it should last quite a while, so that's good.
Great.
Okay. Oh, here's
Awesome.
Lauren. Let's say hi. Lauren, want to say hi on
awesome.
InfoWars? Absolutely. Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi, Lauren.
Hello there.
I like your helmet.
We see you.
We're good? Oh, yeah, let's go to headphones. I'm going to get her a headphone.
So are you not worried? I'm sure you've got a pretty big bounty on your head this time around.
Oh yeah, but I don't think they're showing up. I think they're too afraid. We whipped their butts last time and they're not coming out. This is our turf now.
They don't need to take another L. What do you think about, like, we've got New York Times saying that Berkeley is under attack from both sides.
From both sides? Well, the thing is, we just had a chick walking around here with an F Trump shirt on. She didn't get attacked. She was totally fine. The only people that are attacking anyone are the people who want to shut down our free speech.
You know, that's pretty interesting that you say that, because I can almost guarantee that if it were a crowd of anti-fascists and you had a person walking around with a Trump shirt, that person would be assaulted very shortly, don't you think?
Like, yeah.
What do you want the students? We asked Brittany this. What do you want? Let's say that there's just students on campus there at Berkeley or people tuning in. We're live linked on the Drudge Report right now because obviously Matt Drudge knows this is a really important issue to defend the First Amendment. What do you want to tell students or young people who don't understand what's going on here and what's really at stake?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where you won't miss it until it's gone. Free speech won't, the loss of free speech won't affect them until it's their free speech that is under attack. And it eventually will come to you. It always will. People think, oh, it's just someone else. First they came for, you know, everyone's heard the first they came for the socialists, first they came for the conservatives. And that's going to be the battle of free speech. And eventually it's going to be you that are silent students. Eventually it's going to be your essay or your speaker that can't be published on campus. And they're going to be pretty mad when it gets to that point, and I hope it doesn't have to get to that point, and we can defend everyone's free speech, including the crazy communists that want to shut us down. I hope their free speech is protected too.
Yes, and that's exactly why you don't see them being beat up and mugged when they walk around with an F Trump shirt on, because conservatives in general respect the First Amendment and other people's free speech. Do you think there's any way that we could have open dialogue with these anti-fascists to talk things out, or do you think it's just inevitable that it's going to go to violence?
We tried having the conversations during the election. That was the big thing. We want to talk out our ideas. We want to have a discourse, and we were arguing during the election for discourse, but now we're arguing about, is it okay to punch Nazis? Is it okay to defend yourself? The argument has evolved to fists. We've stopped bringing loudspeakers and signs. We've started bringing gas masks and fists. And I don't want it to be like that. I don't think most Trump supporters want it to be like that, but that's just the reality. And I think it's because the radical left have given up on speech. The groups here are called by any means necessary. That means they're not interested in talking. So we're going to have to defend ourselves by any means necessary.
Lauren, let's just say that in some dystopic version of the future, they are able to accomplish the mission that they have set out to crush free speech. Where do you see this headed? Like, if they're able to shut down the Portland Rose Parade because they're going to attack, they send a threatening letter, and they know their militant tactics are now working, where do you see this headed?
That's the scary part, isn't it? Because when Anne's speech was shut down initially, all of the far left Reddit boards were saying, see, our violence worked. They shut down Anne's speech because we were violent last time and they had security threats. So this is the tactic we need to use. You see, they're starting left-wing gun clubs in Phoenix where they want to start practicing and doing target practice. So honestly, I think this is just going to escalate. But what are we supposed to do as free speech activists if the police here won't defend us? We're going to have to defend ourselves, and we're going to have to fight back. I'd hope to think that they'll just give it up and they'll not show up anymore. But if we have to fight till there's blood on the ground, I think people will, because free speech is a fundamental right. It's the way in which our nations function and our public. It's literally the way in which our society functions, the free exchange of ideas. So if we don't have that, we have nothing. You don't have a nation if you don't have that. And I hate to think, but I think it could escalate and get bloodier.
Well, you know, it's pretty awesome that liberty-loving people like yourself made a point to come out there to show these anti-fascists that their violent tactics have not worked. Because apparently we've got hundreds of liberty-loving, First Amendment defending Americans out there like yourself and the wonderful Trump supporters and America supporters out there that are not going to take to bullying and fear tactics that these anti-fascists use.
And even when you say their full name, anti-fascist, what do you think about that Orwellian doublespeak, Lauren, that they're calling themselves the anti-fascists?
I don't think they know what the word means. I mean, so many of us just throw around slurs and words, racist, Nazi, KKK, fascist. It means nothing now. People literally laugh. Yesterday, I went to the campus to the statements that the Berkeley Republicans were giving, and some woman yelled into a loudspeaker that I was a white supremacist Nazi and introduced me to a bunch of the students, and the students literally just sat there and stared. There was no, like, shocked faces. They're just like, okay. She's using another buzzword. They didn't care anymore. No one cares about those words.
Right,
I will say though that I think it's not going to get bloodier here today, because last time we showed them we won't take it. We won't back down. And I don't see Antifa here today. They're not here. We're cheering here, having our free speech rally. There's no Antifa. Things are looking up.
Well, hopefully things continue this way, because that would show a big victory for free speech. And in fact, yesterday may have been a sad day for free speech, but today is a great day for free speech.
Do you have anything planned for May 1st? May Day?
Oh, May Day. What do you think about May Day when the fascists will come around?
I'll be in Europe for May Day, so stay tuned for that. But if you're going to be here, Cinco de Mayo is going to be on May 5th, another big free speech event here. I got to run, so I got to do more filming.
All right.
Love you guys. Have a great day, and happy Free Speech Day.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. All right, thank you so much, Brittany.
Oh, no worries. The speeches are beginning now, so I'm going to go up to the center, and we're going to see all the speakers. So let's, like, make our way through here.
Awesome.
And this is Brittany Pettibone. You can follow her on Twitter and Facebook and subscribe to her YouTube channel. She's courageously there defending our First Amendment.
Okay, let's see. You're Stuart Rhodes. Yeah.
Stuart Rhodes?
Keeper. Yeah, he's head of the Oath Keepers. The entire thing.
All right.
Get your face in here.
And I'm going to step out for just a second.
Brittany, want me to take another picture? All right.
I'm on InfoWars. Would you like to say hello?
Yeah, hey guys, how's it going? So far, so good.
Hello, hi.
There was a picture of me on a dumpster with my buddy, and the reason why we had our faces covered is because on the 4th I got spit on like 3 times, and I called her the spitter gal. So I said I'm not getting spit on anymore. Got to to show my face. I just got tired of getting spit on. Alex, I love you both. We're all showing our faces.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you for defending liberty and the First Amendment.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, Baked Alaska is coming up. Excuse me, I'm gonna make my way through here. Woo! Hey, Baked, do you want to say a word on InfoWars really fast?
What's up?
Hello, hi, how's it going?
Protecting free speech for everybody and supporting our president, Donald J. Trump. It's great to see you guys. I love you, fam. Go get
thank you.
I'm hyped on that super male vitality, dude. I am hyped up right now.
Oh, you're taking your super male vitality?
I'm up
Awesome.
next to speak, so stay tuned.
All right, awesome. Very hard baked.
So we got a super male vitality user there with Baked Alaska. That was pretty awesome.
So it's getting ready.
Looks like there are a lot of people there, and the speech is starting.
Off the steps, please. Back off the steps. We need to create a secure zone for our speakers.
There are a lot of people.
Okay. The steps of those things are standing on. I need you to step off the steps. Thank you.
I'm sure we have a lot of super male vitality users out there right now, dressed in their gear. They're ready to go. They're defending liberty and the Constitution, the First Amendment. It's pretty awesome to see. We got Lauren Southern, and we've got wonderful defenders, Lady Liberty defenders out there. And me and Leanne are here, and we're broadcasting from the InfoWars studio in
Central Texas Command Center.
That's right, in Austin, Texas, and we have taken our super female vitality. So we just got a lot of people out here ready for a fight, ready to defend liberty and freedom. That's right.
Do you want to say hi, InfoWars? Thanks, InfoWars! From Rebel Media.
Hi.
We stand shoulder to shoulder in this fight between good and evil, freedom and communism.
All right, so we're
Goldie, she's going to be giving a speech.
Yeah.
Wow, do you want to see the speech? Yeah.
Yeah, let's see it.
This movement was here before Ann Coulter, and it's going to be here after Ann Coulter.
All right, so we got a speaker right there.
We are here to stand up for free speech. We are here peacefully. You know, I thought a lot this morning. I was like, how can I bring people together? How can I bring all sides together?
Look at him, he's got a Pepsi
unity
can.
and peace? How can I do it?
Peace for the
and I came up with a perfect solution. I have Pepsi here, okay? You know, I saw Kendall Jenner do it, and it worked perfectly. So can I give you a Pepsi, sir? Sir, please. Base Spider-Man, please, come on, someone, come on. Give him a hand.
Yeah, the last time they took whatever he was offering and chucked it
but seriously,
like a grenade. So
I want to challenge you guys. I know a lot of people here are Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Do we have any Trump supporters here?
A lot of Trump supporters out there.
Thank you, MAGA. I'm a Trump supporter as well. But I would love to challenge you guys. If you see people today that you don't agree with, if you see people today that you possibly hate what they're saying, I want to challenge you to listen to what they're saying and to not get violent with them. Can we do that, guys? I am all about America first, okay? I think we need to treat our own citizens first. And, you know, lately, it seems like America has been helping refugees, people that are not from America, and I think we need to get back to America first, and it needs to stay that way.
If you're just coming on this feed, this is being broadcast from
it's great
Berkeley,
to see, by the way,
where we have conservative speakers out there defending the First Amendment after Ann Coulter's speech was shut down, and we have Baked Alaska right now. This is coming to you via Brittany Pettibone, who has been on talking with us live.
We are the hottest ticket in town. I mean, they can't get enough of us.
And something I'd love to point out, and Brittany brought this up as well, Lauren Southern brought this up as well, because it is the truth. So Berkeley, back in the day when they had the free speech movement and you had all these students, protesters there on campus, and they were protesting, the issue there, to just go show you how this kind of can flip-flop against, you know, either side, these were like liberal students who were demanding, because they were being pressured by their Republican professors and the dean of the school. So it was like these Republican voices that were disallowing liberal speakers from being able to come to campus. So these liberal protesting students at Berkeley who did this free speech movement in the 60s, they were demanding that they could have access to any kind of information that they wanted. And now we're seeing the exact opposite, where we now have these super far left groups trying to shut down the conservative speakers from coming onto campus. So it's like a complete 180. Wow. Were you saying that we had that clip where we could actually play it? So there's a very famous speech that was given on the Sproul Hall steps. Mario Salvio, I believe his name was Mario Savio. The speech at Sproul Hall steps, where he is speaking about how you've got to throw yourself against the machine. Oh, sorry. Brittany is talking. I don't think she can hear me.
Oh, it sounds like she needs to go so she can practice her speech. Brittany's about to go on and speak, so we'll keep in touch with her, and we'll talk to her right after you're done. Brittany, if you can talk to us again right after you're done with your speech, that would be great.
Thank you, Brittany Pettibone.
Thank you, Brittany. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Okay, so back to this. So this free speech movement at Berkeley, okay? If everyone's just not maybe familiar with what happened there, we're always talking about how crazy the free speech movement, and now they're actually trying to shut it down. So you had these liberal students on campus who were thirsty for the access to this different speakers than what their more conservative school administrators were allowing them to access on campus. So these kids were willing to fight for the right to have their First Amendment be honored on a campus, because until then the campus could say, well, no, we don't have to honor your free speech. And so that just goes to show you how it can be flipped, and that one day now these liberal people are actually fighting to shut down any Republican voices or any conservative voices. And let's go ahead and play this very famous speech from Sproul Hall steps, which if Ann Coulter does show up, she plans to give her speech at the same location.
That's right. So we'll go ahead and play that. And just to remind you guys that Brittany Pettibone will be back most likely in a couple minutes. So let's go ahead and watch this clip.
The following. If President Kerr actually tried to get something more liberal out of the regents in his telephone conversations, why didn't he make some public statement to that effect? And the answer we received from a well-meaning liberal was the following. He said, would you ever imagine the manager of a firm making a statement publicly in opposition to his board of directors? That's the answer. Well, I ask you to consider, if this is a firm, and if the Board of Regents are the Board of Directors, and if President Kerr, in fact, is the manager, then I tell you something, the faculty are a bunch of employees, and we're the raw materials. But we're a bunch of raw materials that don't mean to have any process upon us, don't mean to be made into any product, don't mean to end up being bought by some clients of the university, be they the government, be they industry, be they organized labor, be they anyone. We're human beings. There's a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
There you go. So that's a very passionate, very
passionate,
speech.
yes.
And he was saying, you know, you're trying to tell us that you went out of your way to get these liberal speakers on campus. Well, we don't believe you. And guess what? Doing the math, realizing that students are basically a product that's being sold. And we know that absolutely nowadays we're all products, we're all being sold to the highest bidder. Any kind of biometric information or any of our metadata that's being used on Facebook or anything that we put out there, we're all being bought and sold. We're all a product. And they are using these students as a product who are now on these campuses being totally propagated to with this liberal programming. It's gone to the complete other side, which is pretty crazy to see happening in real time. As we pointed out, the institutions have been infiltrated, but that's how those students were willing to push back and for their right to have whatever speaker they wanted come to their campus at Berkeley. They wanted to have access to any information, and they were willing to fight. They were willing to fight. So
yeah, it's interesting to see how they were once the underdogs, and now the conservatives are the underdogs, but usually everyone roots for the underdogs, and the underdogs win. So we're going to win this fight.
And I think looks like we got Lauren Sutton taking the mic now.
We know how crappy it is not having our free speech, so we're here to make sure you guys don't lose it, and you have your God-given rights here. But I really wanted to talk about yesterday. One of your local reporters was talking to me, and I did a news segment there at 11 p.m., and they asked me, Lauren, what is the point of this? Neither side is ever going to give up. They're yelling slurs at each other. They're going to keep throwing punches, and this is just going to be happening over and over and over again until someone gets tired. Right now it's looking like Antifa is a little tired, and we're winning, I will say. But she's probably right. This nonsense in Berkeley is going to keep happening. They are going to keep coming here and trying to shut down your free speech and shut down right-wingers' free speech, everyone's free speech. Even, hell, classical liberals are getting shut down these days. But I will say, it may seem redundant with us showing up, but if I don't show up here, I'll tell Antifa right now, another patriot will show up in my place. And
well,
if
you
not
go,
them,
girl. I mean, it's great to see a
this
strong woman out there like Lauren Southern giving a speech about liberty, the First Amendment, and protecting her right to free speech as well as everyone else's right.
Right.
You know, but you don't see the feminists out there supporting her like you should. You would think they would.
Exactly. They just want to attack her because she's not on the right side. Now, if you believe in female genital mutilation and making women wear burqas and be subservient to their men, well, then that's fine because that's Islam and we're aligned with that ideology because we are fucking insane.
Yeah, I can't believe that. It's like, and then they don't want you to have free speech. I mean, that's what we're doing. We actually have people out here trying to defend the First Amendment. How far have we gone down this rabbit hole to where we're actually debating about whether or not we should have a First Amendment, folks? This is so unbelievably ridiculous, and it's ridiculous that you have liberty lovers out there, just any American out there, having to wear a helmet. Like Lauren Southern, she's having to wear a helmet because these anti-fascist terrorists, these thugs, these criminals, they go out there and they bash people over the head with sticks. It's ridiculous. And you know what?
And then they run away immediately.
Yeah, and you know what the sickest part is? They tend to attack women. What's up with that? I mean, you can't just attack somebody your own size. Pick on someone your own size. You attack women.
When one of theirs gets attacked, well, then all the media is in an uproar about that. And I can't believe that they would hit a poor, sweet, innocent girl, even though she said she was there to collect some Nazi scalps. She went there with the intention of getting in a fight, throwing bottles at people.
Exactly.
At people. But that's, when she actually gets what she came for, well, now she's just a sweet, innocent little girl. So frankly, you're misgendering her. You're going against this message that we're all created equally, men and women.
They're gender jargon. I mean, what do you identify as? I mean, are we gonna have to ask you what you identify as so that, you know, a guy doesn't accidentally hit a girl that hit him? I mean,
yeah, and I'm not for men hitting. I don't subscribe to that. I don't.
Yeah, no.
Men and women, clearly we're different, and that's why I think it's absolutely insane that we have transgender people winning in the opposite sport. I think it's completely crazy, but this is what we're dealing with when we have the cult of the left, which is now called science, telling us.
How do we not have prominent Democrats out there? Where are the prominent Democrats saying, hey, you know what? Seriously. We don't stand with these anti-fascists that want to shut down the First Amendment, because Democrats should know, of all people, how important the First Amendment is, how crucial that is to even their existence, the Democratic Party's existence. Well, and these Antifa aren't going to support your Democratic Party. Are you kidding me? Right. These people don't want government. They want chaos. They want communism. They don't know what they want. They're crazy, these people.
Right. And it's so interesting because they want to bill themselves as the party of morality, that they have the moral high ground. And so they're trying to sell it as if they're the ones that are on the right side of history here. So they want to have a more sophisticated interpretation of the First Amendment. That means their interpretation of the First Amendment, which, as we saw, who was it? Howard Dean tweeted out that hate speech is not protected. Yes, it is protected by the First Amendment. And as we pointed out, it just every week it gets progressively worse as far as what's considered hate speech, anything that an SJW finds offensive. Today, there was actually an article, I forget where it was at, but the girl was so offended and she was raging against poverty. What is it called when you cultural appropriation? So poverty appropriation. Tiny houses triggered this writer who probably paid $65,000 a year to go to her liberal arts college. She has this whole thing going off about how she can't stand people who are appropriating poverty by selling tater tots in a restaurant. Or
oh my gosh.
living in a tiny house, because you're basically insulting people who have to eat tater tots and who have to live in tiny homes. This is the freaking madness. So that's the kind of hate speech that they want to sophisticatedly reinterpret the First Amendment. So, I mean, you're right. Like, you as a Democrat on the left, you are aligning yourself with this absolute madness. People need to stand up to this and say, what the heck interpretation of science are we actually being taught nowadays? It's based on opinions and emotions and feelings.
It seems as though the Democratic Party has just fully gone astray. Oh, look, Brittany's speech. Let's go ahead and cut in and hear some of Brittany's speech.
Ann Coulter was forced to cancel her Berkeley speech. You had groups like Antifa, BAM, and and other radical leftists celebrating this as a victory. But was it truly a victory?
Especially not since we are live streaming it on the Drudge Report.
If it was about Ann Coulter only,
now millions of people are going to hear it.
It's about all Americans in general and as a whole. That's why we're here. It's not about any one person, no matter how renowned they are. So we can come out here now as just average.
So, Ann Coulter may have chosen not to go because she was worried about safety concerns, but all of these other people said, no, we're going to go, we're going to show up. So it's not a victory for the anti-fascists just because one person decides they don't want to risk themselves, risk their own safety. We've got Gavin McInnes, Lauren Southern, Brittany Pettibone. We've got Base Stickman, Faith
Goldie.
There you go.
Media, yes. Well, and that's right. Just it. And Ann may still show up. Who knows? But this is going to be ongoing as there's the what did she call it? Milo's, like a 5-day week.
That's right. Milo Yiannopoulos is coming back to Berkeley this year, and he plans a week-long event. I mean, he's going to have tents. He's going to have all kinds of different speaking events, parties, everything to just promote the First Amendment and freedom of expression.
Let's pull up our mask from the InfoWars store that anyone who plans on attending these rallies, we have got an excellent product for you at the InfoWars store. I know Rob Dew was super excited about the chance that he might be able to get to wear one of these at Berkeley, but we ended up sending guys somewhere else. But you may still get your chance, Rob Dew. Can we get that at the InfoWars store? You see, there it is. Boom.
Oh, look at that. So if you get pepper sprayed, I mean, is that supposed to protect you, Leanne?
You know what? Let's click on it to get it won't protect you from pepper spray. It's got the ideal inner temperature. Let me see the description there. M1RZ original mask built out of 4-way stretch, durable neoprene. It keeps the skin at an ideal inner temperature and performs exceptional in low-intensity activities. Forms to facial contours for maximum comfort and filtration. So, you know, your low-intensity activities are probably not going to include getting pepper sprayed in the face by Antifa. We can't guarantee you that, but we can guarantee that you will look like a freaking badass when you are out there. So that's at the InfoWars store, and that is, I didn't see the price on that, but that is at a discount right now, as so many of our other wonderful products at the InfoWars store are $29.95 right now at the InfoWars store, and you're helping to support this broadcast. We've got the RZ air filtration as well at regular.
We also have a bunch of awesome t-shirts and awesome apparel out there that you can wear and show these anti-fascist bullies that you're not going to cower. You're going to wear your beliefs on your chest, and there's nothing they can do about it, basically.
Right.
So
well, we had Kaya Jones on. She's a pretty famous EDM artist, one of the co-founders of the Pussycat Dolls, and she's been just really incredible. And she was after Joy Vila decided to wear the Trump dress to the Grammys, she was like, wow, I've finally been inspired and been given the courage to now wear my Trump shirt that she would never wear out in public because she was just so afraid, you know, being in the music industry or being in a pretty liberal city, that she'd be ostracized. And so now she's come out, she's a full-blown advocate, and I think that's awesome. So go ahead, you can do the same thing. Don't let people bully you into not representing what you believe in. That's not what America is all about. America is all about standing up for your rights and being as free as humanly possible. That's why we're here. It's our duty as Americans to be as free as we are as we can be. We are like standing at the forefront of society.
That's right. I always find it really awesome when you see these defenders of liberty out there standing up against these Antifa thugs, these terrorists, these bullies, and you see these InfoWars shirts out there, or these Trump is my president 2020, or, you know, you see all these shirts out there and you're like, all right, you know, I got you. And I think that also sends a signal to other people who are watching, and it sends a signal to other people who are there as well. And, you know, it's just pretty amazing. I kind of wanted to cut back to some more of that footage. Some of the live streams out there.
So we'll pull them up as they come in.
Oh, somebody's talking with the police right here.
Police remove Antifa power at Berkeley by forcing them to remove masks or go to jail. Wow. So we've been saying, like, why didn't they do that? They did that at Auburn, but now it looks like they are doing that at Berkeley. Antifa gets arrested in 15 seconds after assaulting. This was Jack Posobiec. So I know after this kind of altercation happened in D.C., I believe.
Oh, this is interesting.
This is, okay, it accidentally jumped to that. But what this is a guy being told to remove his mask by the Berkeley police. So they're now telling people to remove their masks.
Look at him. He's got those giant gauges in his ears, too. So
Cole won't be able to figure out who you are with that. Really,
yeah, no.
That mask.
The doctor's mask.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just worried about contamination.
It's not going to stop any pepper spray, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. Hands behind your back.
All right.
This got posted about 30 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh, so he's getting arrested, this guy.
Yeah, they're taking it seriously, the mask thing, which is what they should have been doing from the beginning, not letting people run around in ninja suits.
Wow, okay, so they are taking it serious. It looks like the Berkeley Police Department may actually be taking it serious.
The mayor is like, look, you know what, I'm not a part. Maybe the mayor, because he got so much flack for publicly liking the By Any Means Necessary group, and maybe his constituents, maybe they actually got after him and said, what the hell, buddy, so you're with this group? Are you okay with them burning down our city and rioting and breaking windows? So he maybe told the police, like, look, do what you can. Do what you can, because this is looking bad on me. You know, people think that I'm a part of this by any means necessary, so I'm not going to give you the stand down orders this time around. And as Brittany Pettibone pointed out, they've been really good at setting up a perimeter and just making sure that these Antifa kids can't even get in there to disrupt the free speech rally. The free speech will not be stifled by you little bullies, like your groin is being stifled in those tight jeans.
That's right. And I don't understand how the Berkeley University staff was trying to insinuate, allegedly, that the safety concerns were so bad that the police couldn't handle it and that the police couldn't do anything, or that they shouldn't be expected to just go out there and keep the peace, when in reality, that's their job. Of course they are capable of doing that.
Well,
I mean,
that's the thing, is like, it would truly be a PER nightmare for these police officers, even if you had Antifa throwing grenades or whatever, breaking windows, setting fires to trash cans, and of course that could get out of hand. Even if all of that was going on, if the police moved in on these peaceful protesters, as the media would portray him, that could be a PR nightmare for Berkeley, the city of Berkeley, the school itself. So they really are kind of walking a thin line there, and it's sort of interesting that I would be really interested to see how the media would cover it if indeed the police did move in.
Well, you know, if the Berkeley administration continues to cancel conservative speaker events over security concerns or safety concerns, which that's how you lose your liberties. That's how you lose your freedoms in the name of safety and security. That's how you lose all of your rights, when it's in the name of safety or security. So if they continue to do this, maybe there should be petitions to defund the university itself. So we actually now have Brittany Pettibone back on the line. So let's go ahead and cut to Brittany.
I'm gonna step up and speak.
Okay, I might stream you on InfoWars.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello. Hello there. We caught a little bit of your speech.
Oh, great. Yeah, so we have Susan Walsh speaking, and then it'll be Kyle Chapman, and then I believe Gavin McGinnis will be the finale.
Have you seen any sign of the Antifa?
There was a moment over here. There's something going on over here. I'm not really sure.
Do you want to go check it out? If you have someone with you, or if you feel safe to.
They have a bunch of, like, security here, the Oath Keepers.
Yeah, it looks like they were being told to remove their masks or go to jail.
Yeah, they're kind of securing the perimeter over here because I think they're blocking something.
Let's see if we can ask one of these Oath Keepers what happened.
All right. What's going on over here? Is there are Antifa showing up?
Berkeley PD is actually on their game today and helping us.
Okay, great.
So earlier somebody got arrested with explosives in their car.
Wow.
So that's why
explosives. Is that what she just said?
Yes.
Wow.
This lady is not playing around.
Yeah, she is ready. She's got like a riot gear helmet on almost. Is that custom made, or do you
what
think
the heck? We saw what happened last time. They sprayed the girl right in the face.
Exactly.
You know, hit people with shovels.
Well, if you just heard what she said, it sounded like she said that somebody had brought explosives, an anti-fascist person had brought explosives.
Yeah. And so the police and a bunch of Oath Keepers over here are kind of securing the perimeter here because there were Antifa trying to rush in just about 5 minutes ago.
So there was an attempted terrorist attack, essentially, if somebody's bringing explosives.
I'm sure that was just an innocent little smoke bomb.
But I'm sure the mainstream media would never cover that, right? They're not going to cover that.
No, they just, like, you know, so far we've been perfectly peaceful here at this rally. There's been no violence, but that's because we're not being attacked. We only act on self-defense here.
Right, exactly. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how that works? You're not just out going and looking for a fight by any means necessary.
I think that Kyle is speaking now, so we'll go have a look.
Yeah, let's go see.
I just saw one of our Hillary for Prison shirts.
Just wanted to say,
a Hillary for Prison shirt.
As a former
Trump is my
Democrat,
president shirt too.
Someone who believes in libertarianism and tolerance, and someone who believes a woman can be anything a man can be, that everyone should pay their fair share. But what hit me as a tidal wave was what I learned, that the leadership in my Democratic Party didn't believe like I believed. They have aligned themselves with anger, intolerance, and violence.
That's right. Intolerance. The
The
intolerant
Democratic Party has stepped into the wrong side of history.
Can I have the mic for
and
1
this is
second?
why I am
Can I
here
have the mic for
before
1
you
second after
today.
I want to ask everyone to say
Because
hi to
we
InfoWars.
have a chance to make history. We have a chance to make history, or let this day disappear into a dustbin of history. Berkeley has made a name for itself as a leader in the anti-war, freedom, peace, tolerance. Berkeley has since lost its way. Shame. I have such shame for the mayor aligning and colluding with a fascist organization like BAM. Shame on this mayor promoting and condoning violence, organizations like Antifa and BAM. And shame on Berkeley for being on the wrong side of history this time. Now more than ever is the time to take a stand for freedom. Now is the time to stand and be counted among those who believe in freedom, in tolerance, love, and promising future for our children. Now is the time to put freedom back in the hearts and minds of the American people. And now is the time to make America great again!
And
now is the time.
USA! USA!
Especially now that our freedoms are under attack. Everyone's chanting USA. Oh, we got another free speech sign back there.
So, to my fellow Democrats, because I know you're out there, the silent majority, I call for you to rise up against this bullshit here in Berkeley.
BS in Berkeley.
Time has come. Thank you guys so much. Winning, hello, winning.
Woo!
Not
That's
time
right.
of it yet.
All right,
Hey
so
guys, you're live on InfoWars. You want to show some love?
All right. Hold the camera down more. Woo! You can see the trees. Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, everybody, let's hear it for InfoWars.
Woo!
Thank you,
Let's
guys.
thank InfoWars for red pilling the entire world. Thank you, InfoWars.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Defenders of Liberty. Pretty awesome.
I'm new at this, so I have to read my speech off of
Our
paper.
brave men and women out there defending the First Amendment in the face of the Antifa terrorists.
All right, so once again, thank you all for showing up today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kyle Chapman. I'm also known as Bait Stickman.
We've got the Base Stickman. Lots of YouTube videos have come out of him.
How you can be Base Stickman for Halloween or at the next rally.
Specifically, the freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. We are law-abiding Americans who care for the Constitution and rightful laws of our republic. All we ask is to be able to assemble and speak as free citizens. The Constitution is the law of the land, not the Communist Manifesto.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
The
Not
heroes
Saul
of
Alinsky's
our
rule for
country
radicals.
are George Washington and Samuel Adams, not Karl Marx and Vladimir Lenin. Antifa and BAM can take their communist propaganda home to their parents' basements. We are free men and women here!
That's awesome. Oh, what a powerful speech we're hearing right now. This is amazing. Make sure you guys share this link on Twitter and Facebook to get the word out of liberty and the fact that people will protect free speech.
Defend it, yep. Any more than you or I do. Please thank every officer you see today for being on the right side of the law. Guys, they have done a fantastic job today. Seriously, let's give it up for our peace officers.
Now, I wonder if that man who had his mask removed and that was arrested, I wonder if that was the guy who had the explosives. We do not know, but...
Yeah, I think she said they were found in a car. So he wouldn't have made it all that way.
So we want to let our officers know that we are with you. We are for law and order, and until
they definitely wouldn't have been that calm with him if he had been the one with
we cannot have the civil dialogue
that would be
our founding
pretty
fathers
scary.
envisioned for us. However, it appears that law and order cannot be established, and we have entered into a new age of politics, in which we will have to fight for our right to free speech and free assembly. The police are trying, but they clearly cannot protect us against this threat alone. Freedom requires responsibility. Free men and women are responsible for protecting their rights. No longer will we depend
The government's
on the
not going to do it
government
for
to
you, that's
protect
for sure.
us or our rights. We will protect us, and we will protect our rights.
That's right. It's up to your everyday American citizen to protect their rights and fight for them.
America will protect the rights of our citizens. The lines are drawn. It is time to decide whether you stand for free speech, the right to bear arms, the rule of law, and the republic of our forefathers. Or you stand with those who want to destroy our country and its traditions. For those of you who wish to stand for free speech, we must all unite. Conservatives, Republicans, libertarians, liberals, lovers of free speech, we all need to come together to fight the radical left. We must unite, guys. The infighting has inhibited our movement far too long. No matter what you call yourself, no matter where you
Well,
come
you know,
from,
the anti-fascists were out there celebrating the fact that Ann Coulter canceled her appearance, which was already canceled by Berkeley, the Berkeley administration, but she had said she was going to go anyway, and then she ended up canceling over safety concerns, security concerns. Antifa quickly started celebrating this victory.
Oh, violence works.
But, you know,
terror and intimidation works. This is good. Now we're in alignment with the terrorists who bomb people and plow them down with trucks to get their way, to get their message across. So yeah, now we're in alignment. Now we've moved not just from an extremist group, now we can be labeled as actual terrorists because we are using violence to push our political agenda.
That's right. They were celebrating that, see, violence is the answer. That is what the message was that came out after Ann Coulter decided to back out. But, you know, today we have these speakers out here and these people showing that, you know, you can be violent all you want. We are going to defend our First Amendment.
We're going to show up.
We're going to show up in massive numbers to defend liberty and to defend the Constitution.
So it'll be interesting because we know Antifa likes to work with within the cloak of darkness. So it'll be interesting to see. It was very smart to hold this free speech rally on a Thursday at what, 2 p.m. there?
That's right. We there have been claims out there that the Antifa will make an appearance. We know that there was an Antifa, or we don't know if it was an Antifa, we assume, but that apparently explosives were confiscated. So there was also an arrest that was made, and we showed a little bit of that earlier, but
someone refusing to take their mask off.
Yes, it seems as though the Berkeley police are starting to do their job. They are actually taking it serious, taking these threats of violence serious coming out of the Antifa. And so far, there has been a very peaceful rally with Trump supporters, American supporters. You know, we got your liberty lovers out there and protectors of the Constitution. And apparently, there have even been a couple people walking around with F Trump shirts, which have been completely unharmed, and there has been no conflict. So
it's not about who is the president. The presidents come and go. Every 4 to 8 years, there's going to be a new president, probably a new party in power. Hopefully, a third party or another party will rise up and break up this left-right divide. That is not what matters. The politics don't matter. The people who position themselves and who get elected year after year, those people do not matter. It's not about aligning yourself and worshiping these politicians. It's about protecting our fundamental rights, because presidents and politicians, they're going to come and go, but our fundamental rights are going to be here long after they get out of office, as long as we continue to fight for that and not allow the fascist, ridiculous, progressive lefts who are pushing for this country to go towards communism, not to allow them, since they see themselves as the people who make the laws in this country, not to work on behalf of the people who got them elected. They're going to try to push these really progressive left policies while they are in power. And you have these type of Antifa, progressive leftists showing up at these town halls and harassing your representatives, saying, do what we want, take our rights away.
That's right. And
we got Brittany speaking with some people there who have showed up. Let's see if we can get audio. Look at all those people.
They're going to continue to keep this up. If we have to continue driving up and down the coast,
thanks for naming the bench.
brothers and sisters, we will.
We got to do it.
I thank everybody for being here. Thank you. I'm lost, guys. We shouldn't have to wear this stuff to be speaking freely.
That's right. You shouldn't have to wear helmets and protective
Thank you,
gear.
guys.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to have a free speech zone where you're cordoned off, where we promise you, you won't get beaten if you stand inside this rope.
Yeah.
It's a magic rope that will protect you from shovels and grenades.
Free speech. This is my
Oh, Hillary for prison.
Right there. We got a Hillary for prison shirt on a speaker right now.
And we're taking over the country back. We just took our country back.
I wonder if he took his super male vitality today. I would bet that he did.
Is a fragile thing, and it needs to be protected. And
I think the guy back there holding that big speaker the entire time, he's definitely making a super male.
Well, I know.
There we go. Cut along the dotted line. Clearly no fear with that guy.
Bill of Rights and Constitution. We have to keep up the tradition. Our ancestors, we at least owe it to our ancestors. We can't let them down. If we let our ancestors down, we let ourselves down.
If we lose our liberties, who knows how long it'll take to regain them.
Yeah, there's Berkeley then and now. What the hell happened? The regressive left, you have been infiltrated by a bunch of communists.
Because they don't agree with his speech. That's wrong. We need to stand up for everyone who is being silenced.
Oh, but the left would like to say that it's a bunch of white supremacist Trump supporters out there. Not even the case. Look at this guy holding the speaker.
I know there's been a handoff of the speaker, holder of the speakers. These guys are doing an amazing job for their country today.
We have warriors,
there's Lauren Southern in her amazing helmet.
She has been cartoonized.
Our lady defender of liberty out there on the battle line for free speech.
Liberty icon there, Lauren Southern in her MAGA helmet.
This is what runs in America. And we have to protect free speech to protect the Second Amendment. And
That's
if
right.
we can't protect the first, everything goes down. God bless you all, and God bless America.
You need the second.
Give me first liberty or give me death.
That's why they are attacking the First and Second Amendment so hardcore, and they want you to think it's all about fighting racists and fascists and stopping mass killings from happening at schools. They want you all to think with your emotions rather than your common sense, to realize that they want us to strip away our rights and traditions and things that have been here long before any of us were even a twinkle in our parents' eyes.
That's right.
We can't be the generation of people to lose everything that people fought so hard for. We have to be the generation that protects this and upholds our freedoms. We have to fight for them. The government's not going to do it for you.
And make sure you guys all hit Brittany Pettibone up on Twitter right now and thank her for going out there and, you know, giving us this coverage. I'm sure her arms are probably tired. She's been holding this phone up. She's doing her best to get the message of liberty out. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the coverage. Yeah, it's been great. It's always a lot of fun on InfoWars.
Yes, well, thank you, Brittany. It has been amazing. This is an amazing event that has been put on, and Liberty has won today. It's a great day for free speech. So Ann Coulter canceled, but the liberty-loving Americans out there went in her place. It's pretty amazing.
Yep. All right. Well, I got to hold another camera now, so I should sign off. But thanks once again, guys.
A very important
Thank you, Brittany.
part
Thank you
of
so
our
much,
movement
Brittany.
and a very great man.
Well, that is pretty amazing, Leanne. It's just great to see all those Americans out there protecting the First Amendment. We really do appreciate them just as much, and you know,
got a clash, the clash of the free speech advocates.
We really appreciate our men and women in service, in our military service, that go out there, give their lives for the First Amendment, for all of our amendments, our Constitution and our rights. We appreciate them, and when we see these anti-fascist thugs out there spitting on and burning the American flag, it just boils my blood, Leanne. It's
Well, now you see
seriously.
the battle. That's the battle that's on our shores now. There's a lot of wars going on out there in the world. People fighting civil wars and stuff in their own country. And we've got a civil war brewing in our country right now as well. We are witnessing kind of the very beginnings of it. And we can allow this to fester up and become something much worse than what it is. But we have our veterans that are out there saying, look, I had a lot of people that I fought side by side with who've died, gave their life for these freedoms. I'm not about to let some stupid little punk communists come in and bully people into giving away their rights because they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to be beat up by a 90-pound kid in skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Seriously, think about that. You're scared of these kids, these little punks. They're like, all vegans that could be bowled over with.
We're not afraid of you, Antifa. I mean, you guys are just a bunch of bullies. Where are you? You haven't even shown up. I mean, we've got all these great men and women out there, liberty lovers, defending the First Amendment, probably hyped up on their super male vitality and super female vitality. We've even seen a bunch wearing their Hillary for Prison shirts or Trump Pence 2020 shirts. I mean, we've got defenders of liberty out there that are not going to succumb to your fear tactics. So don't even think for a second that violence is the answer, because you will be met with resistance.
You know what's funny, though, as you point that out, we're seeing here, this is on We Are Change live stream. They're showing the Oath Keepers kind of lined up there right now. It's really interesting how when you actually have, say, the Oath Keepers and other groups saying we're going to show up just like they showed up in Ferguson and these other places, we're going to protect these people and protect their rights, that we've already promised our lives and took that oath to protect all of this. It's just really interesting that the Antifa never show up, and those violent protesters and violent rioters, they never show up. It's interesting when they're actually faced with someone who says, you know what? We're going to fight back. We're not going to cow down to you little tight jeans punks. We're going to stand our ground. It's incredible that that's all it takes is for people to just stand up for themselves.
That's right. And it's amazing to have groups out there like the Oath Keepers trying to make sure to do what the police, weren't doing. I mean, if God forbid the police decide that they just are going to stand down again and the anti-fascists come. That's why you have the Oath Keepers out there. Now, so far, the police have been appearing to do their job. And I mean, it's just pretty amazing to see people out there that are going to be out there and defend people. It's too bad that Ann Coulter decided to not show up anymore, because she would have had, plenty of security there that were willing.
I think that's maybe what Antifa is going to take as the win, is that they were at least able to shut it down with Ann Coulter. She didn't show up, but what they don't realize is that it just gave this issue such a larger platform. You gave the speakers that are there another opportunity to get their free speech message across to hundreds of people. Like they said, there's even more people at this rally than were at the April 15th rally, where they were doing a free speech rally there as well, pro-Trump rally.
Patriots Day.
It wasn't for a tax. Right. It wasn't for tax day like the media tried to paint it as. You know, so you have these people showing up, and it just gave them another opportunity to get their message out. So definitely not a win for these Antifa people just because Ann Coulter stepped down. But now she made all the rounds in the media. She's gotten many articles written about her, about what her message is. So any sane person can take a look at that and make a reasonable decision about what side they...
No, you know, it has been a win for liberty-loving conservatives out there that all came out there to defend the First Amendment. Now, had nobody have shown up, then the Antifa would have won. However, that's not what happened. We had all kinds of people coming out from all around to defend the First Amendment, and that is exactly what happened.
And Lauren Southern made a great point. This is the same group, a lot of the same speakers as well, who were at the April 15th protests, and they Antifa really got hit that day. So she pointed out that maybe they're not showing up because they already got their asses kicked once, so they don't want to.
Yeah, maybe they heard about all those oath keepers coming and the base stick man coming, and they just decided that they weren't going to come.
So it looks like there is a reasonable discussion taking place.
Are they here to achieve their dreams was deported? Do you care about that? Does that mean anything?
Why was he deported?
Why was he deported? Because apparently he's not here the way white people want them.
Because apparently he's not here.
This is an immigration debate that's going on right now.
Wait a minute.
He had broken the law several times. Are you talking about the one that has 2 DUIs?
No, I'm not. How about a mother whose children are now stuck here?
So how do you feel?
A mother whose kids are stuck here.
Well, this is okay. This is good. This is debate, conversation. This is good. You know, I'm all for discussion and debate. That's how the conflict should be. It should not be people beating each other with sticks and bats.
Yeah, you can't beat people for supporting Trump or wanting to enforce our immigration laws by using the justification that these people are here illegally and now their kids are stuck here because they got deported.
But you realize how interconnected that is with the World Bank and the IMF and NAFTA? Like, the only reason America is so great and our standard of living so good is because we live off the backs of other countries. Like, the only...
Where do those other countries off of our back because our tax dollars go to pay for every freaking country around the world.
See, that's what they're being taught in some of these college classes. They're being taught how all the dark spots in American history, and it's being construed and twisted to demonize the founding fathers, demonize everything that America is. So that's where that jargon comes from. So it's interesting to see that this is coming out of these college courses where they're teaching these things.
That's true.
And it is important to have empathy, so I get it. I don't want people to think, well, you know, you can't have empathy, but also, too, we are a country that, you know, the rule of law is important here. That's why we haven't descended into third world chaos and overtaken by cartels, because our politicians aren't, at least they're not openly corrupt and taking cash bribes from the cartel. I mean, they might be doing that secretly. I'm sure further investigation, we might see there's something going on, but it's not a third world hellhole like parts of Mexico are, where, you know, people are finding out that there 300 people from a single town are being incinerated in jails there, empty jails, and the governor just looks the other way because he's getting cash bribes from the cartels. That's the kind of stuff that's happening just over the border. So when someone is saying, well, why would you deport them because they were here illegally and they broke the law? Because that's our laws. It sucks. You know, I'd hate to break up families, but
our laws are voted on and put in place by we the people. So to say that you don't like the law, well, then get active, get politically active. You know, make sure you go out there and campaign for your politician that you want to go in, or you yourself can run for office. But that's how our government system is set up. It's so that we, the people, we choose our policies. So it's actually, when you're going against the rule of law, you're going against what your fellow Americans have actually voted for.
Well, and so I appreciate this woman out there. She's standing in a big crowd of people having a reasonable discussion. So, and this is, look, this is what the media doesn't want to show you, is that when you have, it's these Trump supporters or these First Amendment supporters, because it's not really a Trump pro-Trump rally today, but these First Amendment supporters are out there. Oh, wait, is it saying Ann Coulter is at Berkeley? Is that We Are Change has that up? I can't tell what's going on here. But yeah, it's interesting to see how you can have this woman who's able to just freely speak. She's not worried about getting her head bashed in with the bike lock. They're having a reasonable discussion.
Well, you know, I mean, it looks like it's showing back here. It says Ann Coulter at Berkeley. We don't know whether or not Ann Coulter is actually at Berkeley. Now, it would be pretty amazing to see her actually show up. And I mean, because it looks like it's pretty well contained. If she does give
that speech at Sproul Hall or Sproul Plaza, that is going to be really sticking it to everyone at Berkeley, because that's going to force everyone to have to look at the history of what actually happened there and how, like we keep pointing out, you can't take away people's rights and then think that you're not going to be on the receiving end of that oppression. It's not as if the only people who are going to feel the burn are going to be people you don't like, or conservatives, or right-wing people, or Christians. You too eventually are going to feel the sting of having your rights stripped away from you.
That's right. Let's listen to some of this debate that seems to be getting pretty heated.
I've actually interviewed him twice.
One thing I like about Steve,
he's actually been
make the state smaller.
No one here.
And I'm totally for that.
So I actually interviewed Richard Spencer twice. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of his opinions. I'm not. I think he's actually. He told me some things. But he also told me that he felt Trump was soft, and he didn't like it. So why would and felt that a lot of these Trump supporters were being played, and then he would follow through on it. Why am I? Like, do you guys support Obama? I hope.
No. Yeah, bubbles.
Okay, that's fair.
Someone's blowing bubbles.
I don't know.
So you elected a man on the false pretense.
There's our bubble blower right there.
This man is baptized in the blood and sweat of
So far, this is a very peaceful rally and event. I don't see Antifa, and these are just your normal people.
That's a false argument. That's a false.
These are your normal anti-Trump protesters, which that's fine. I mean, this is what a normal event looks like, where you have maybe a protest and then you have people come up and asking about it and getting into dialogue and debate, which is perfectly fine.
I'm gay and I went here.
Okay, and Mexican.
Oh, do you win the oppression argument here?
She wins the oppression argument.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm more oppressed. She tried to say, well, I'm gay, and she was like, okay, well, I'm Mexican. Whatever. What does that have to do with the identity policy?
Not the war.
They're arguing over who's more oppressed.
Like I said earlier, your identity politics don't mean jack if your fundamental rights are taken away from you. Nobody gives a crap about your trans bathroom rights if you don't have your fundamental rights. That is what is key for people to understand. We have to fight for those. Oh,
just
man.
keep
There's
them.
an oppression battle going on right now. I love whoever the cameraman is. Back, forth.
I've never worn a batting helmet. I've never had a riot shield in my life. I've never felt that I had to have these things. And the first time I came here, I gave
Lots of baseball helmets. I mean, I'm sure there's been a uptick in baseball helmet sales lately.
Well, I know we've gone a little bit beyond our 3 to 5 here, but we're just going to kind of give a little bit of extended coverage here while all of this is going on. Since we're giving this extended coverage, we want to make sure everyone goes and checks out the InfoWars store right now. We are running a lot of mega specials. We've got our caveman on sale right now, 53% off. And I don't want to give away any secrets, but we may be working on even a new flavor because people love this so much. It's got the bone broth, turmeric root, chaga mushroom, and ancient super nutrients. It's so incredible for you. Also, cartilage as well, which, as I mentioned yesterday, even as a vegetarian, I think I'm going to go for this because it's so good for you. You have no idea how incredible that those type of nutrients are for your body. We talked about with the Secret 12 and even the vitamin mineral fusion, how you just take those and instantly your body is just refreshed and feeling very thankful. It looks like
Lauren Southern is getting involved in this debate here.
There's a reasonable discussion going on between Lauren Southern and...
Just because a woman is running for
okay.
something, the overall system isn't patriarchal.
Just because a black man is in office doesn't mean racism doesn't exist. You guys are looking at micro instances. Yes, say that.
I believe racism exists. And I do.
You guys.
I think there's lots of racism against all people, white people, black people, everyone. Particularly white people, especially on campuses.
What's the opposite?
Racism against white people.
Oh yeah, you just saw people blocking white people.
Racism against white people doesn't exist. That can't exist because that's not our new definition of racism.
Well,
my teacher said
absolutes are absolutely incorrect. So to say it doesn't exist, never. That's a fallacy of logic.
No,
there.
it's super cool and trendy to be racist against white people because white people suck and the patriarchy sucks and men suck and we should just open the borders and who cares about the rule of law, and it's a sanctuary city, so who cares if MS-13 gangs are being protected.
Let's see what's going on here. It looks like this girl just got like destroyed by Lauren Southern. Oh no, we lost the audio.
Well, do we have Lauren Southern's stream, or is she got a We Are Change? I think she's got her own going, so I think we're on.
Pretty interesting, though. I mean, oh, here we go. That's Lauren's stream right there.
I think she's got.
Yeah, you did. Oh, yeah, you did. I heard you.
Oh, there we go. I believe that to be Lauren Southern's stream. No?
This is a great
It looks like it's coming from the direction she was standing at.
Well, you can see right down there. It'll be on her channel. I'm sure she's got it streaming on her own channel, right?
Yeah, I respect women more than you.
YouTube. On the YouTube.
These are not offensive items. We didn't bring bombs to throw at people. Look, the Muslims want to throw gays off the roof. I love gays.
Yeah, I love Muslims throwing gays off the roof, you know, when it's, you know, they're thinking of it.
Oh, boy.
Dude, did you say you support women? I support people with no gender.
Look at that.
I support people with no gender.
Yeah.
Did you just say you support humans?
I would date a tranny.
I would. What?
Dude, I dated a tranny.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
His mom.
Whose feed are we on? Let's go to the other. I don't want to listen actively to people who are just
being belligerent.
So he did put his own spin on that.
We've got more speakers.
So I'm Daniel Shawcross Wilkerson, and show my face. I'm an American, and I live here in Berkeley. So when you're all gone and your army here is gone, I'll be here by myself. And if they want to attack me on the street, they can do it, which is I brought this. So, so I'd just like to point out, I recognize it takes something to stand here, but I wanted to point out something here, because Americans, people tend to criticize us for sometimes being a little...
Women stay in jobs less than men. Women get less degrees than men. They get degrees that pay less than men. We go into the arts more likely. All of the statistics do not back up your arguments. Sorry.
Again, you're putting a generalization out there. When
it's
you
not
look
a generalization.
you have to disambiguate the statistics. No, absolutely. When you're talking about women working the same job, let's say a CEO compared to a CEO, not the entire generality, the CEO is going to be paid less than as a female. That is that's why I'm saying you can't look at it as a general. If you look at the entire population, you're right. Women more go into humanities. They go into social services. They go into situations in which they're paid less. But if we look just at two different structures, like a CEO who's a male and a CEO who's a female, or let's say like a president, like they are paid less. That is statistically backed up. I mean,
CEOs right now, females are being paid more than male CEOs.
The Washington Post, the Department of Labor, the American Academy of University Women saying that you're wrong.
Again,
you can read them by all means.
I have. I've done research. I go to UC Berkeley, so
well, that doesn't help.
That's departmental scholar going to graduate school that actually studies this material? Absolutely not. Well, I'm not. No, propagandic rhetoric is saying that you invite Milo and Coulter when they're self-described polemicists as a non-controversial act. That is propagandic self-described polemicists. That is a propagandic rhetoric.
Something that makes more money. They're looking at it financially, not what they want to do.
And they also lump it all together by part-time workers with full-time workers. I mean, it's just completely, the metrics are off. The metrics are skewed to suit people's agenda.
nor Gorsuch.
But this guy thinks
as an actual legal
if you don't let them
modality.
speak in the first place,
Well,
which none of you guys at UC
I've
Berkeley
read
do.
Ann Coulter's books. I've been.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that.
Okay, well,
I highly doubt that.
You can doubt it. That's fine. I just spend all my time reading.
When you
Permanent scholarship.
When you use speech to take away the freedom of others, it's no longer.
I don't know if there's any proof behind what you just said, so I'm just going to say.
It's really easy to say. Yeah.
Fake news.
How can you look at
Fake news, fake news. That's their argument.
So here's a quick question. Is Ann Coulter or Milo's books burned? Can I not? Here's a question. Can I not get Ann Coulter's books at the Berkeley Library, the UC Berkeley Library?
for now until they burn them.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Can you? I don't know. We don't have a Berkeley library
The answer
card.
is absolutely yes. So,
They don't burn the books. They just burn the Starbucks.
Accepts the fact that you want to bring,
Starbucks.
in our view, hateful rhetoric. You can look at the ACLU case in Spokane.
Okay, hateful
rhetoric.
The tuition at Berkeley, it's not 65,000. It's actually pretty reasonable. Total direct costs are about 30,000 a year. So you know, he's getting 30,000 a year. He's spending to have these roundabout discussions where he doesn't ever get to the point.
Oh man,
he just uses his college words.
In its localized sense should not be allowed. I'm not saying burn.
He goes to Berkeley.
He goes to Berkeley.
If it got to that sense, I'd be with you right now.
He's a master
so you're saying
debater.
If it's a community of predominantly one ideology, they're okay to say we don't want these views in our area.
I'm not associating with UC Berkeley. I'm not.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
So let's say there's a white community and black, Jewish, Asian person comes up and they say we don't want you here because we're a community of predominantly white people. We love white people. Get black out of here.
That's not analogous because you're.
No. That's a comparison. I'm flipping it. Yeah.
No, but it's not analogous. You're putting a particular of an individual compared to the group. I'm saying as a group because this is a group. This isn't just one person walking through a neighborhood and being.
It's a group because
socialism and communism. It's all about the group.
Well, he's picking on the fact that there's a group of people all at this rally, and it's like, well, the reason so many people came out to be as a group is, in a sense, to stand together because they've been being beaten and bullied by a mob, a group of anti-fascists who try to say that they're fascists, which is not even true. It's a blatant lie.
Well, and it's interesting, though, that these people are able to come here and have a rational discussion and debate with the people who they're facing off against. Maybe they'll actually learn something today and say, wow, they're not just racist, fascist, sexist, homophobic people. They actually have a point.
Economic consequences of having, like, inviting Ann Coulter, knowing this community is necessarily going. I mean, come on, this is Berkeley. You're gonna invite Ann Coulter. You're gonna invite Milo. There's gonna be protests.
So it's the conservatives' fault for the violence, and conservatives are the bad guys.
All right, so we do have some Antifa people. They have arrived.
Wow.
Like they are showing up. I don't see them being barricaded off by any police officers, so.
The Antifa have arrived.
Interesting what side of the line they're on.
Here we go.
We saw them with the upside down flag there on somebody's
agree,
feed.
But the difference is that we only have so much money, equity, in order to spend on this system. If you're forcing UCB to spend all their money on these protests again and again and again, Berkeley College Republicans and Young Americans for Freedom, inviting these speakers, have spent UCPD has had to spend more money on their speakers than any other group on campus.
Because they're the ones that are being attacked by little fascists, you dumbass. He's making the argument that they shouldn't bring these speakers to campus because it's too expensive to fight off all the protests. They need to get.
Yeah, it causes too much damage.
That's a problem. That he doesn't see that is an issue. There's a problem there when you bring someone to your campus who just wants to have a talk, who isn't there to go and sign up new people to their fascist Nazi movement, according to Yvette Falarka. She thinks they're actually like enrolling people and signing them up to their new fascist movement. I mean, because she's totally delusional. They just want to have a conversation that potentially has the ability to go viral or that the nation might hear, such as Ann Coulter giving a speech. They can't have that. And he doesn't understand that the fact that that club has had to spend so much money because they're fighting against these fascist bullies who burned down the city to get their way.
So now,
This guy is totally triggered.
In which we can debate ideas. That would be right, but that's not the world we live in, unfortunately. You invite these people, and you know it's going to precipitate these riots.
You know it's going to cause violence. You know. So therefore, it's our fault. Somehow it's
our safe space.
It's the conservatives' fault that the Antifa are damaging things and damaging property. You shouldn't make the Antifa throw a temper tantrum. It's your fault. You took the toy away. You're the ones.
We don't want to hear your words. It's your fault. The words hurt.
Oh.
Words hurt.
We have a snowflake.
The First Amendment.
Lauren is melting a snowflake right now. This is awesome.
You can't have the thought police deciding whether your speech is worthy or not of being displayed in public.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I'm glad
hey,
you
son.
Wow, what do you know?
But this is a college. Well, UC Berkeley is a college campus. Berkeley College Republicans
Safe
is a
space.
representative group that
yeah, Republicans are people too, idiot. Republicans are students too. They still have a right to be represented on your campus.
Well, and then we're just going to be polarized. You're just going to have your view, I'm going to have my view, and we're going to get nowhere.
And guess what? People can have different points of view. That's the point of America.
That because they're going to be polarized and that there are different points of view,
we can't get along.
Bring that different point of view to campus. That's how you're going to stop the polarization, is just don't
whatever happened
with the other side of you. That way everyone on campus can be in unity because they all have the same group thing.
Whatever happened to tolerance? I thought the whole thing behind tolerance was that we're supposed to be tolerant of people with different points of view. And this guy just can't handle. But wait, then we're gonna have different points of view. It's like, that's okay. That's perfectly fine, but we can all get along still.
Really? The group.
Yeah. The group mentality.
If you're an individual thinker out there, that's scary.
Wait, he's melting. Look at his face. We gotta go back to this.
Go back to his face.
Go back.
He's melting.
I'm confused right now because that's makes
we
no
are.
sense.
Put this full screen.
I want to address your ideology on this issue.
Okay.
I personally, I'm a journalist. I don't think we can fault the people who are being the target of this kind of protest as the.
Oh no. You're right. We can't. I
Let him
actually
make
fault
his
Berkeley
point.
College Republicans, and I fault the young Americans for freedom. Because if we were to, they understand the situation in which they find
That's
themselves.
the victim.
I thought faulting the victim was something that should be spoken out against.
Yeah.
You know how we've had feminists saying how we shouldn't fault the rape victim for bringing on the rape, so why should we fault the
Rob, you need that hat.
Yeah. Meme veteran.
Ducifer is our meme master here at InfoWars. So.
And Coulter, you can go to their website and they say it. This year, bro. That's what I'm talking about. This year.
Oh man.
I'm not talking about the historicity of
He's got one of those beta male voices.
Oh, he doesn't want to hear about the history of Berkeley. He wants to talk about what's going on today. History doesn't matter. Don't you see? We're trying to erase your history all across the United States of America so we can be doomed to repeat it, so all these idiot college students can then grow up to become communists. Don't you dare cite history to me. That has no place on Berkeley's campus today. God, these people are literally, this is what we're up against, people. This is the safe space generation. They don't want opposing points of view. Groupthink only.
No offense, that's my own fault. I'm a white male walking through the area in which most murders happen in.
He just said it's his own fault that he got shot at because he's a white male.
Walking through the area.
Wow, what a victim.
White guilt.
White guilt.
White
Wow.
guilt, man. What about the black people that walk through those dangerous neighborhoods and get shot at?
Well,
then whose fault is it?
Well, no, then
Not
that's
the criminal.
That's a tragedy, but if he's a white male, he deserves it.
Yeah.
You see, it's
'Cause
that
he shouldn't have
whip
walked through
yourself
there. How
in the
dare
back.
he try to walk in a free country wherever he wants? You should have known better.
What is that called where they
I am triggered.
What is that called where they whip themselves?
Self-flagellation.
Self-flagellation.
Not self-flagellation.
Let's hear Lorna. Oh, Oh
the
no!
argument of taking
There we go.
precautions and things, but I see a lot of people on the far left kind of being the people blaming the girl for getting raped, right?
No, I agree. But that's the thing. Like, I want to have a substantive conversation, and in order to do that, you need to take the controversy out of it. And if you're going to continually invite people that just stoke controversy, regardless of what this guy likes to think, you're not going to get that conversation. You're not going to change my
BS,
ideology.
buddy.
And I'm more of
Because
a
you're
centrist moderate. I would
shut down
almost vote
anyone
for
that
Trump.
comes to
There's
campus.
certain
I forget who they shut down last time. Karen McDonald, Catherine McDonald. Nobody even knows who that lady is. She wrote a book about, you know, how dangerous it is that people are now targeting law enforcement in our present day with this civil unrest brewing. She writes a book about, you know, don't attack law enforcement, and they shut her speech down and said that she was racist. Black Lives Matter showed up and said, "You're racist. How dare you say we can't target cops?" So it doesn't matter what the point he's making right now is that you should only invite speakers who aren't controversial to campus. This is the argument he's making, is that we have to take the controversy out of it.
Because we should know better that the Antifa are going to destroy property. So rather than blaming the Antifa, he's going to come and blame the people who are being bullied and having their rights violated.
Yeah, because he doesn't understand. He is a part of the American people. His rights are being violated as well, even if he stands on
This
the
is like
side.
this is like an advertisement to show like Berkeley. I mean, what is this showing for Berkeley? If these are supposedly the students there, and this is their thought mentality, their logic, their reasoning.
I appreciate that they're trying to have a discussion, but you know, it's just interesting. I hate to be Lauren Southern right now. I'd be so triggered. She's keeping her calm.
Yes, she's doing great.
Go to that community and said I would publish instead.
Yeah, see, that's the argument he keeps making, is that he wouldn't go to that community. He wouldn't try to make a difference, or
I gotta run.
Yeah.
But
Pleasure meeting you, Lauren.
She's like, you're wasting my time.
No, well, it's just like you could. That's the thing, is like you can argue in circles with people all day long, but
at some point, you know,
you're trying to have a dialogue, but you're not even willing to listen to.
But at some point, you just have to agree to disagree and shake hands and kind of go your own different ways and be tolerant of each other.
Agree to disagree.
That's right.
What's happening down here?
We've got
Where's
Luke Radowski?
He's always on the scene. Probably mentally.
Let's hear what he's saying. He's talking about Antifa.
Mentally tired right now because. So we got some other.
I've heard reports of one.
I can see what's happening
arrested, but I
behind
haven't
us.
seen anything personally myself. A lot of people milling around, walking around. The crowd is mixed. Trump supporters, anti-Trump supporters, and everyone's having a
So
very
you're
nice
hearing
day
Luke
here at the park,
Radowski
just
of We Are
relaxing and
Change
chilling, and,
coming across the speakers now.
Talking.
I feel like he's laughing because he's just flabbergasted at what he just had to witness, that roundabout argument.
Definitely not good weather to have all this equipment on, to be completely honest with you. Let's go over here and see what else is happening here. I need a bottle of water. I'm extremely thirsty.
Well, so far, it does seem to be a victory for conservatives.
Can you put through the stream that's behind us? Not the...
Securing them.
Oh, okay. All right. So We Are Change is walking around, showing the size of the crowd.
They're giving people the right to speak, even if they totally disagree.
So it seems like everyone's getting a chance to speak at the podium, even if they're not Trump supporters, even if they disagree with people coming out and having this rally. They're opening up the mic.
Wow, to allow other people to speak?
Because that's what free speech is all about. And, you know, this is their event. They don't technically have to do this, but they're trying to make a point here, it seems, that free speech is for everyone.
And I'd love to point out how no one in the crowd who doesn't like what they have to say or has an opposing view of them is, they're letting them speak. They're not attacking them. They're not shutting it down. They're not beating them with sticks.
Yes.
It's incredible. That's what the First Amendment on campus looks like, people. This is what grown-ups do. This is what happens when you step outside your safe space and you hear opinions that hurt yours and aren't in alignment with yours. And the world did not end. World War III did not happen. Everyone's still alive and we're all okay. And guess what? It's still a free country. Your rights are still intact. That's what it looks like.
Well, it's pretty amazing, Leanne. It's a breath of fresh air, really and truly, to see so many people out there defending liberty, defending the First Amendment. We saw how the Antifa were celebrating their victory by having Ann Coulter back out of her speaking event, which was already canceled by Berkeley. But this is really and truly a victory for freedom lovers and First Amendment lovers out there, because so far this event has gone on peacefully. It's a wonderful event.
The police have basically let Antifa know, look, take your masks off. We don't want any trouble. You can still have your little sticks. But, you know, you're going to be unmasked. You're not going to be protected to go out and beat people like we saw on the 15th, where someone bashed someone in the head with a bike lock and then immediately ran off. The guy was bleeding profusely from his head. And that's what they do. They want to cover their face because they can't handle it. They can't take the heat. They just want to dish it out, but they don't like it when they're faced up against people who are actually going to fight back. And so at least that might be deterring some of the violence here today, that they're unmasked. They have nowhere to hide.
That's right.
Or maybe that is because the Berkeley mayor was outed as well as a BAM.
There's so many different people out there, and anyone with a camera on their phone is out there streaming, and the video evidence will be out there if you decide to attack someone. So that's why the Antifa wear a mask. It's to conceal their identity so that when they assault
their
someone.
job at the coffee shop when they
That's right. Or as a university professor or as a middle school teacher, so that they can hide their identity, so they can go out and commit crimes.
So that when you have your parent-teacher conference, they can politely tell you how great your kid is, and you think, oh, they're just such a sweet person. But then when you shut the door to that classroom, since you're not allowed to observe the classroom environment in most cases, you have no idea what your middle schooler is learning from Miss Yvette Falarca, where she's teaching them all about her version of history and how the white man sucks and how it is their duty to break down the structure of this society because America is so terrible. This is the kind of stuff that they're being taught in class behind closed doors. That's why it's so important for you to look at their homework, look at their textbooks, look at what they're being taught, look at what they're being forced to read. And it's subtle. It's very subtle the way that they plant this information. We had a woman come on who talked about, she was looking at some of the information her kid was being taught, and it was subtle things about GMOs. The question was like, are GMOs harmful or not? Because these raisins are
a nice sign there.
Tasty, and I mean, it has nothing to do with any scientific evidence of whether or not GMOs were bad, or answering that question at all. It was just indoctrinating the kids to be okay with Monsanto and their wonderful frankenfoods that they produce. So just something as simple as that. They mix it in with your math equations.
What is that? Oh, that's just a footage. Now, I do wonder, I do want to get more information on what happened with the allegations that we had some of these people out there, that there were explosives
found in a car. Yeah.
So I do want to find out more on that.
Are you guys looking up on the Berkeley? Yeah, hashtag Berkeley on Twitter, so we can kind of see the latest stuff that's people are talking about on Twitter. Winding down. Yeah.
Okay, so Gavin McInnes, we don't know if he's spoken yet.
We never know. We never know if the audience can hear what Rob Dew is saying. We weren't just sitting here going,
yeah. We
were being given instructions by the dark forces behind the curtain. So, I guess.
Yeah, basically what I was saying, I was looking to see if we could find Gavin McInnes speaking, and it didn't look like they were showing that. What we have behind you, it looks like it's a security cam of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no audio to this. That took us a while to figure out that maybe there's no audio for that. And then we're looking for other sources, because it seems to be a plethora of people putting this stuff out live, which is great. People reacted really favorably today to the news and watching this stuff. And I think it was great that it didn't get violent.
Yeah, it's a victory. Definitely a victory for those who put on this event.
Yeah, and it's I'm seeing here on this Twitter feed, someone says, funny now that conservatives have come prepared if attacked by Antifa. Berkeley is claiming victim status. And that is like key to point out. That's pertaining to this article where I forget who they quoted. Who was it? The chancellor. So Berkeley's chancellor speaks out and says, Berkeley is under attack from both sides. Oh my goodness. We have these First Amendment supporters out here, and they have on helmets, and they look like they're ready to fight back. We better do something, because our little Antifa groupies that we allow to just come run our town and burn stuff down and give them a little slap on the wrist, you know, we can't allow that to happen. Looks like both sides are going to fight now.
They try to claim that Berkeley is under attack because by conservatives coming, they're saying that then the anti-fascists will come and start a big battleground brawl, and that they're actually pointing the finger at conservatives. And a lot of these are students that attend the university, and there are Republican student groups that have wanted conservative speakers such as Ann Coulter, Milo Yiannopoulos, and so on and so forth to come and speak there. And it's just as though these Antifa themselves are the anti-fascists. They're the ones who are against free speech. They're the ones causing the violence. So how is Berkeley a victim in any way if you have a bunch of conservatives out here being peaceful, being respectful, going out there showing that they're pro-First Amendment, and as long as the police do their job to protect and maintain the police, there's no problem.
The peace, yes. The peacekeepers. Yeah, well, I mean, it's very interesting. What time is it there? About 3:30 there, California time. So I'm not sure if the speeches are still going on. It's hard to see what's going on behind me. So
well, so far so good.
To see if we can get Gavin McInnes, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to stick around for him. I know Owen Schroyer has got the nightly news tonight, 7 p.m. Central. He's going to have Jack Posobiec on, who has been a victim, or I don't think he's been a victim actually. His camera got punched or something. I know they're going to be talking about that tonight on the nightly news, but he's got a bounty on his head from the Antifa there in D.C. They're basically, I think Lauren made this point, that they are following their Twitter accounts. They're following their, wherever they're planning to go speak or to go protest or to go shoot any reports or anything, whatever thing they're going to cover. They are there letting them know that they're going to show up and they've got a bounty on their head. So definitely commend all those people for putting themselves out there. And Owen Schroyer said he was going to bring me the meme of the day. Should we just pick one out? Where's our meme master, Deuce Farian? You want to pick us out a meme? The meme of the day? I call him.
You know, there's been so many good ones.
You've been pulling up a lot of good
This one we just pulled up was a little violent for my taste, because I'm not a big police brutality fan, but these guys that are running around here with their masks on, I saw what they did in Pittsburgh back in 2009 when they were lighting dumpsters on fire, making barricades, and they ended up causing so much trouble in this small little neighborhood that the police brought out the sound cannons. And I was definitely against the police bringing out sound cannons and using them on the American people, and also what these guys were doing, because it was mostly a peaceful protest. People were just going to try to march to the G20, and then you had these little offshoot groups of these anarchists that were causing trouble. I've seen this pattern time and time again. This was September of 2009. Now here we are, 2017. You still have the same thing happening. These small groups of people, they try to hijack whatever their leftist movement is and try to cause violence to promote their gains, which are, damage property and bring out the police and then fall back in the shadows. But they when they're met by force, you could see they back down. Well, and here they didn't even show up.
Yeah, Rob, what do you think about a lot of conspiracy theories kind of swirling that the police, they tried to show this video that it seemed to look like some of these smoke bombs were being fired from where the police were actually at. What do you think about these conspiracy theories that sometimes the police may stand down in order to allow these riots to become very violent, and that would justify a heavy-handed police force coming in to stop it?
Well, I had a little bit different take on that, actually. I looked at some of the videos, and it looked like they were using police-grade flashbangs and smoke bombs. And I'm wondering how either A, is Antifa getting these, or did they have guys dressed up as Antifa throwing these in to try to provoke an attack? Because we saw the Berkeley police stand down. The first time, we saw them kind of stand down the second time, and they had their perimeter, but they had it in that one small location, and once the event broke off, they weren't really there going after people. So it's either way. I've seen police dress up as protesters many times. We saw it in Montebello in 2007, and Owen and I played video of that on Monday, and we also played video in 2009 at the G20. They had these 3 stocky dudes following around a bunch of protesters, and they were obviously cops. So I wouldn't put it's a common police tactic to go undercover and dress up as the people that you're trying to get.
And goad people.
But were they provoking that? I don't know.
Yeah, kind of goad them.
That's where it remains to be seen.
Goad them into taking that extra little step to break the law. And what we saw too with everything that was going on with Ferguson, when things just were getting out of hand, and even we here at InfoWars were just like, where are the tanks? Why are they just allowing them to riot and burn their towns down? It's almost like it starts to make the whole collective of the country go, wait a minute, why haven't they declared martial law? Why are they allowing this to happen? So
yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
It's definitely not good. And, you know, in a couple days, May Day is going to happen on May 1st, and it is the communist, anti-fascist holiday where they all go out and express their beliefs that they think that communism should rule the world. You know, but at the same time, this is what I want to say to all of the American freedom-loving conservatives and libertarians and Trump supporters out there. I want to say, you know, we value the First Amendment. We value freedom of speech. So it's important to allow them their First Amendment right. Now, we do not agree with their communist belief systems, but by no means should anyone be showing up to their May Day festivities trying to shut them down? Because at that point, we would become them. We would become the bullies, the bad guys. And we don't want to do that. So it's okay for us to do what we've seen today. Hold a rally for free speech, for liberty, to express our political beliefs. But at the same time, we should never stoop to their level.
Exactly. And even if you don't agree with their message, you could be like those people that showed up to the protest there in Berkeley today who just engaged in conversation to hear about the other side. And maybe they weren't ever going to agree. They'd have to just call it a draw and agree to disagree. But at least you're willing to go there and listen to these people's point of view. I think it would be interesting to go to one of these May Day protests and say, what the heck? Because I know when we were in at the RNC, in Ohio, and I was actually speaking with one of these socialist kids, and I asked him, you know, well, what's your end game? And he just kept hesitating, and he said, well, yes, I guess eventually it is communism. And I said, are you kidding me? So you're trying to deny the actual history of socialism and communism. You don't want to talk about the dark side of it, which has seen more people killed than any other war or anything put together, all the wars put together. You want to ignore that side of it, but you want to tell people that that's the ultimate goal for this country, is to have it become a communist nation, because they're indoctrinated into thinking that the only reason why communism gets such a bad rap is because, you know, the capitalist pigs just want to teach you that.
That's right. You know, open debate and discussion is really great, and we see it on the internet all the time. We see it on message boards and whatnot. But at the same time, I would definitely caution anyone that's going to want to go out and try to have any type of open debate and discussion with these anti-fascists on May Day, because I wouldn't want anything bad to happen. I know that in the past we've seen the Antifa do not like to have open debate and discussion. They just like to smash people over the head with sticks.
And go, excuse us, pardon
us. You know, what I always hear, guys, is, oh, well, they're not doing communism right. It's not real communism.
Right.
It's different. And they've never been able to get a successful version of communism out there. It's what... Remember when we were in Cleveland talking to those communists?
Yep.
Yeah. Those.
It boggles. It's like, hey, there is no perfect communism. There is no perfect capitalism. These are, when you have humans, you're never going to have anything perfect.
I think they were the IWW.
Yeah. And it's just amazing that we don't have perfect capitalism right now. We have crony capitalism that we're trying to get out from under. And if we do that, we will have a better society. We'll have a lot more money. If this tax cut goes through that Trump's planning, people are going to have a lot more money to spend and stimulate the economy. And also businesses will have a lot more money to hire more people. And when that happens, more people will be paying taxes, and there will be more taxes, and unemployment will be lower, and there'll be more flat screens.
And they'll be lifted out of poverty. And look at that. But
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see there wasn't any violence today. People came prepared, though, which is good.
Well, I know we're going to stay on the live stream with these other people that are out there still. Just I know they're planning on staying out there till the sun goes down. So we will have to, of course, get on out of here to prepare for the InfoWars Nightly News. Coming up in about an hour, Owen Schroyer is going to be hosting that. But I know, there's still a very huge crowd there at Berkeley.
That's right. And we will keep you guys updated on all of these events as they transpire. If anything goes down with these anti-fascists, they show up, make sure you check back at Infowars.com. Check back at the Alex Jones channel. Owen Schroyer, like Leanne said, he's going to be covering the InfoWars Nightly News. So we will be keeping you guys updated as these events transpire.
All the breaking news and more at Infowars.com. Again, thank you guys so much for sticking around with us. We went a little bit long today just because we kind of wanted to see if we could get a little bit of Gavin McInnes' speech and see what was going on there. Thank you guys so much for supporting the broadcast. Millie, tell everyone what your favorite product is, because look at this woman. She is a total glowing goddess, a babe. And your son is also a little glowing god, I must say.
Well,
You're really raising him right, doing something right. Give us your secrets.
Well, I can't really say that I just only use one InfoWars Life product, because that just wouldn't be true. I really feel like it's a combination. And I have been taking my Caveman in my morning smoothies, and I love it. The chocolate flavor is amazing. I absolutely love it. Yeah, cave woman here. I've got my muscles, But
listening to
Tommy butt.
And they said people started saying chaga mushroom, bone broth, turmeric. And he's like, I don't even know what that means. Maybe we need to send him some Caveman.
Yeah.
Right? Well, yes, get your Caveman. It's 53% off. And another one of these products that I absolutely love is Survival Shield X2. I do take that like daily because it is so important for us to have iodine in our diet, and they have removed iodine from a lot of our food supplies. It used to be in our food supply a lot more. So make sure you get your Survival Shield X2. Our supply is running low, so it's pretty amazing that it's still on sale for $29.95.
I know.
So check that out, guys. Another great one is the Vitamin Mineral Fusion.
I drink it every day.
Yes, and I saw somebody was asking me on Twitter, why doesn't InfoWars have a multivitamin? Well, we do. It's the Vitamin Mineral Fusion.
It's an easy to digest form.
That's right.
For your body to absorb all the vitamins and nutrients when it is in that powder form, and you put it in your sparkling water.
And it tastes really good. It really, really does. I love the flavor of it. So definitely check that out as well, guys. Well, we are going to be signing off here.
So our production crew, who is so badass.
Wait. I want to show meme of the day.
Rob, do.
There it is. Bring it up.
And you're the meme master.
It's
there
Ben
you
Garrison,
go.
of course. The great Ben Garrison cartoon. The Antifa tried to shut up the Nazis. They say, is anybody that doesn't agree with them.
Milo would have been the first one taken to the camps. Thank you. Like a half Jewish man. All right, but he's a Nazi.
Yeah, right? Isn't that ridiculous? They're calling him a Nazi when he would have been definitely taken to the concentration camps by the Gestapo.
Milo Yiannopoulos, who we'll be talking to probably next week, because he's going to be doing his little May Day festivities all week long. So there you go, fighting for your rights. Everyone out there. Thank you guys. Signing off.
Well.
My fellow Info Warriors, I am very excited to be able to announce to you the introduction at InfoWarsLife.com of a new way to save time and money when you stock up on InfoWars Life formulations like Survival Shield X2 and Super Male Vitality. Just go to InfoWarsLife.com today, select your favorite product, click on Auto Ship before adding to cart, and choose how often you want us to send you another order. Every time you choose Auto Ship at InfoWarsLife.com, you get 10% off, and you won't have to worry about running out and having to reorder next time. And of course, you can cancel with one click anytime. As you know, I'm all about the idea of a 360 win, and the new auto ship feature at InfoWarsLife.com is a sure win for everybody. A win for liberty, a win for health, and a win when it comes to big savings. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today and save 10% on your next InfoWars Life order by selecting auto ship at checkout. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. A clean, toxic-free body is the foundation of true health. Introducing Deep Cleanse by InfoWarsLife.com, a scientifically formulated blend of nanocolloidal zeolites and organic ingredients that aid the body in cleansing chemicals and toxic metals. Using our proprietary multi-step extraction technology, Deep Cleanse is our most affordable all-in-one cleanser. With concentrated organic compounds like cilantro, milk thistle, fulvic acid, orange peel, zeolites, and others, Deep Cleanse doesn't hold back. Instead of buying 5, 6, or even 7 different cleansing products, we use decades-old scientific research to put together the Rolls-Royce of all-in-one cleansing. Look, there's a reason Deep Cleanse is the only product on the market that uses our proprietary Spigyrex herbal processing technique. We use only the highest quality organic herbs backed by serious research, and we still bring it to you at the best price out there. If you wish to find Deep Cleanse and experience the all-in-one cleansing, visit InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
There is a crisis in America today. Tens of millions of us are addicted to cell phones. These little devices, according to many university studies and more, cause health risks such as depression, cancer, and social anxiety. How can we prevent these harmful devices from harming us and our families? I have the answer for you today. It's called the Block It Pocket. The Block It Pocket works by securing your phone in its safe, no radiation compartment. I use the Block It Pocket every day to protect me from harmful radiation and prevent others from stealing my stuff. Online, your entire persona is visible. Your credit card numbers, your email, everything about you that a criminal can use to hack and buy things under your name. With the Block It Pocket, this isn't possible. It blocks those harmful signals so that you can be safe. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today and make sure to secure your very own Block It Pocket.
Vitamin Mineral Fusion. Visit InfoWarsLife.com to secure your canister. We have worked for years with our chemists and scientists to create the most powerful and affordable, great-tasting multivitamin formula available. Vitamin Mineral Fusion Drink Mix at InfoWarsLife.com is loaded with a full month's supply of essential vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that your body absolutely needs. In the history of InfoWars Life, we've brought out a lot of amazing products like Survival Shield X2, Super Male Vitality, and so many others. With its unique delivery system and proprietary manufacturing process designed for maximized effects, this formula is the platinum standard of multivitamin mineral products. And this part is most important. The ingredients in Vitamin Mineral Fusion are either plant-derived or of the highest quality lab standard. That means it's clean. That means it's pure. And rest assured, you're fighting the tip of the spear in the info war. That's InfoWarsLife.com and Vitamin Mineral Fusion. Take action now before we sell out.